Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today. Welcome to episode 237 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Today, I'm joined by... Wait, what's that box behind you? That's a MetaQuest Xbox edition. You caved, sir.
We did.
How are we doing today, Cog? How's our new Xbox edition MetaQuest treating us?
I was going to talk about a games plan, but I'm liking my experience. I'm liking my experience, man. It's been a minute for me. Because of the fact that I was like, man, remember I told you I was on the fence.
Yeah, you had it in your cart a couple of times.
Had it in the car, in the car, and I'm like, man, and I'm just like, you worked on this, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? Shout out to all my people. Shout out to my boy Mystic Maze. Shout out to a lot of people who are still over there, at Meta and during my Meta days. And I looked at it, I was like, bro, like, that may never be made again. Like, you have to, what is that word? Like memorialize and, your work. And I was just like, yeah, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing.
Sure.
Like, I think I'm bad about that. Sometimes I don't celebrate my wins.
I'm so bad at that.
Terrible. Real talk. This is actually a flaw of mine. I've never told you this, but I struggle with compliments.
Really?
I get uncomfortable.
I feel like it's so funny. Who was I talking to about that? I was just talking to someone the other day and I said, Cog is so good at taking compliments. I'll give you like immense love and you have the mannerisms. You're like, thank you, bro. And you give me some heartfelt words back. I'm like, you're so good at it. I'm so surprised to hear that.
I had to get better at it. Like I get uncomfortable. It's like I would be like, all right, let's not talk about me. What you doing is, you know what I'm saying? Like I would always shift it. Like for whatever reason, I just never, even from young, I didn't do well with the spotlight being on me all the time and just receiving the blessing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. And then, but what's weird is, with this way I'm a hypocrite because when I don't get it, I'm mad. Right? So it's like I can't have
That's
it.
That's a little anime protagonist energy of you, bro. You've been watching that Naruto. We'll talk about it a little bit. I feel like the anime is rubbed off on you a little bit. You didn't even realize it.
Fair enough. But yeah, we'll get into the question. Sure. Yeah, I just want to shout out everybody and stuff like that. But yeah, having some fun.
Good.
And we'll get into how you been, man? Let's go to you.
Let's see here. Think. It has been. I've been getting. I don't know if this is the turning 30 syndrome. I've been getting less sleep. Like I'm going to bed and my body's like, all right, dude, 7 hours, you're done. I've like not been woken up by my alarm in days now.
Interesting. Like 7 pocket?
Yeah, I'm in the 7 pocket now. Not a fan. Gonna be honest, because sometimes I'm a night owl. I've been getting to bed earlier. I've been actually staying consistent with it.
Okay.
Like step 1 was just getting in bed earlier. We'll talk about it. Shout out to Last Defense Academy. That's been a great book for me to read at night. 100 fucking hour book. I did not know I was cracking open. But that's been great. Where it's like I basically what I've done. For anyone out there who's listening, I'll be very transparent about it. If you're struggling with like, oh man, like it's suddenly 3 a.m. and you're like, damn, I should have gone to bed earlier. I've just set an everyday alarm on my phone, 12:30, 12:45, and just it goes off while I'm playing or while I'm hanging out. And it's just like I'm literally like Pavlov's dog syndroming myself of just like, oh, that's the alarm, time to go to bed. And just like literally setting an actual reminder to just go to bed. And so from there, the alarm goes off, grab my Switch, off I go. I've been in a little bit of Groundhog Day syndrome though, for sure.
What you do?
Like I just wake up, I do my work, I finish my day up, I play Last Defense Academy for like 5 hours, I go to bed, I wake up, I repeat it. This has been my life since I got back from North Carolina. Every day.
You're in that pocket. Yeah.
I'm just in a groove right now. Like, but it's almost like I need change desperately. I'm slowly losing my mind, but as I thought about it, I'm so close to the end of this game. So that's how I'm doing. I'm progressively losing my mind.
Repeatedly every day.
Yes.
No, I feel you, man. Definitely. And then obviously we were talking before, And yeah, my first little vacation I got scheduled. So I haven't done that, man.
Where we going?
You actually inspired. You did your little North Carolina. So I've never been to Ohio.
All right.
And yeah, shout out to my best friend, Paul, the homie. You know, one thing we used to do pre-COVID was do what I consider a sports town pilgrimage. You pick a city, you pick a town, you pick a stadium, and you just kind of base the whole trip, theme the whole trip around it, right? So for Ohio, it's actually significant for two reasons. Because one, me and him are big football. Like I do my big fantasy league with him, with all the Goombas doing it for years. I had to they had to interview me before I joined this league.
What?
Oh, bro, this was I was like, bro, y'all mob. I was like,
insane.
And it's wild expensive to get in. Don't get me wrong, but they're consistent. They got it's so professionally run.
I kind of get that though, because I've been in fantasy leagues where someone hypes themselves up, like, "Yo, let me in, bro." They join and they abandon their team, and you get the free money at the end of the day. But if it ruins the league when over the course of a season, like half the people just abandon ship.
Bro, and they don't play that. They take it to the next level with the roster requirements. You can't hoard. You got to have two quarterbacks. You got to pick two kickers. You got to they won't play. And then when you take somebody off the waiver wire, that's $5-10. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the dudes wait for the waiver wire, and they just that one dude is always hoarding.
The waiver wire cyclers, dude. Yeah, that is the key to winning in those leagues. That putting a little money on that is smart. Okay, they're running a good league there.
Oh, man, I've been in that league for over 10 years. I've won it twice. What was funny is when I won it back to back. I was feeling myself. And I have not won since. It's been 6 years. I haven't won again. 2 years, I didn't make the playoffs. I was like, oh, no. But it's just so well run.
Is it a keeper league? Do you stash a few players every season? Or
they are debating it this year for the first time, but the hardcore guys, the OGs, are like, we don't want it because they want to defeat the draft. They want the draft that still have value.
Sure.
I don't buy keeper leagues. I've been in them, but we'll see. I think right now the vote is 60-40 no. But we'll see.
Wow, you guys got votes in everything.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, I am in I'm in a mob run league. These guys really know how to do it, man.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. So basically, this is my hobby from that. And, so we're going to do, first we're going to do, I'm flying to Cleveland, but we're going to do Canton. So I can do the NFL Hall of Fame because that's my football dog. I owe it. Football's my favorite sport right now. So I went to that. And then from there, we're going to do Columbus. And then from Columbus, we're going to do actually the city of Cleveland, and then that's when we do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I've never been. I'm a big music guy. I owe myself to step into this place. And then what we're going to try to do is we're going to play it by ear. We didn't buy tickets, but we're going to go to a Guardians game, baseball game, because they're going to be in town. So we're going to try to line all this stuff. So people are giving me suggestions for to eat. Shout out to my boy, Darren One, a.k.a. Tesla Tidbits. He's on our Patreon. He's a, Ohio guy, and he was just like, hey, I'm going to be around. He lives near the Hall of Fame. He's like, yo, I'll pull up. I was like, all right, cool.
Shit, nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited, man. I needed to disconnect this. Well, it's been a bit stressful, especially with consoles and the actions of consoles and companies, and just me and you talk. But, it's just, I think I don't do enough disconnect for myself. Anytime I travel, it's always for work, to cover a game, to do this, to do that. And this is I'm not going to be on ILP this week, Sunday. So if y'all only go get me this week. Y'all get me on Duke, no ILP, saying salute to the Lords, by the way. Check us out on Advanced.gg.
Oh, man, this dude's got a new shaker cup every week. That's fire.
Bro, Advanced.gg, we doing their thing, baby. Yeah, go up there, check out Code Island, baby. It's dope. Keeps it cold, or keeps it hot. Love it.
Yes, sir. But, all I got is a little lowly mason jar here.
Wait, where's the big boy? Where's the big Bertha?
Oh, actually, we have a writing about that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, we'll get into it. Don't worry. We have viewers who have caught my little switch of the drink here.
I can't wait to get it. But other than that, I'm excited. So I'll fly out tomorrow. And man, if you're in the Ohio area, let me know. Maybe I have time to pass through somewhere at a bar or some restaurant or some suggestions. Let me know.
Yeah, that's the best part. Traveling and getting the local food, seeing what's going on there. Local baseball game's a great choice. When we were in Texas for QuakeCon, we had a day we were just kind of floating around and stuff, and we kind of just impulsively went to a Rangers game. Ooh. And the Rangers were really bad at that time, so there was literally no one there, and they were playing the Mariners. So we bought $10 seats, and they were up in the nosebleeds, and because no one was there, and it was a day game, we just sat on the third baseline and just watched the ball game.
Wow.
Yeah, closest I've ever been, but just I love baseball, man. That's definitely become the favorite for me. Like, because hockey was the favorite, but hockey is just a little too much of a pattern beast to me. It's like a little too much, like very old school, very rooted in its ways. It has not really evolved as a sport. And the player personalities are like robots, dude. So you need some of that to spark light. It's like football's kind of winning me over. Like I used to not be crazy about football. I like it now. Basketball, you got no hope. I'm not hooping ever.
I'm a hooper. I played. I was nice.
I did when I was younger, but yeah,
basketball completely. I don't resonate with it no more.
Yeah, I don't resonate with the product. I'm right there with you. So yeah, it's really baseball. So I think that's a great choice. Going to a little ball game there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we got write-ins, Cog. We haven't done Health is Wealth for 2 weeks. We apologize. This was my choice as the show writer. I'll take blame. Just because I know we just wanted to really get into it. We as like hosts wanted to get into it. And so I felt like we'd be breezing by some of your write-ins. So we're going to start doing that weekly again. So those of you who are not interested, you'll do your skipping, but most of you'll do the smart thing. You'll hang around because Health is Wealth is where low key the best write-ins are tucked in. Not everyone's big stories, but some of the funniest, in fact. So hang around, see what we've got going on here. Let's start off with Tortilla the Hunt or the Hun. Hello, gents. Just wanted to say you guys are both great and have a no notes to give kind of day. Cog, this reads like a threat in these parts. This reads like a threat. Do you not know we're an Xbox podcast, sir? Would you tell us we're doing great and there's no notes? Well, we're on the line then, it seems like.
Yeah, it seems so.
So don't worry, Tortilla. We're gonna try to keep performing well for you. Don't worry.
Man.
All right, let's actually catch up with some business here at Last Stand Media. Joshua Anderson has the write-in. Sup, Dukes? Colin has pulled the plug on Constellation, but has debuted a new streaming show. It's called Sacred Streaming. But we'd love to see you guys host it occasionally and game it up. Maybe Cog can educate these young bucks on some Sega classics like Alex Kidd and Shinobi World. Or maybe Matty throwing down some Sly Cooper as he slanders Forza Horizon for the 432nd time. Any thoughts or feelings? I'm sad to see Stelly go, but honestly, I'm what Colin talked about on the audience fall off. I was one of the original people who asked for a Game Over Greggy knockoff, but once I saw a few people at LSM wanted to discuss current events, not even just politics, and instead wanted to discuss toasters, coffee, ketchup, eggs, all separate topics, and foods we wish we liked and such, I was out. Anyway, thoughts, Joshua. P.S. Still loving Duke, and last week's show was awesome. Great work, all. Yeah, appreciate the love for last week's episode. It was good to get the validation. We ended that show and all felt that might have been like the best podcast I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like we were all just razor sharp, but we, don't want to gas ourselves up. It's really ultimately up to the audience, but it was really cool to see them reciprocate. So we're glad that the Super Show turned out really well. Very proud of it. So thank you for listening. Cog, we got one show down, one show up. Any thoughts on Sacred Streaming?
Well, pour one out for Stelly. What I'm saying? It's a good run. It's a good run. Look, I respect Cobra Commander and overall what his vision or what he wants to do for the show. Me personally, I would say though, I came into Stelly, not that I was hesitant, but I was like, let me see. Man, I wasn't the strongest initially when it was pitched, but I was like, let me see how it goes. And then I ended up getting into it. And I ended up like, because we'd have these weird retrospective stories and we'd have these very life, connecting kind of things, and you learn more about people. And obviously we had all the different permutations of Stelly. Like you had 1 minute, you have this one, you have Jeff, you have Chris. So you had different things. And then shout out to the Dag, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Dagster, the homie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Didn't know I was doing my last podcast with him until it was too late.
I know. and Dag is just such a big-hearted guy. He's like,
love him.
I love him. I just love his spirit. Like he just has a really good spirit. Talking to him. Yeah.
He would probably take this as an insult because it would sound like an age-related insult, but like it's like talking to like a grandparent talking to Dag, and like very comforting, very warm, very inviting, never a bad conversation. Like just really reminds me, and I say this as my Mimi was my favorite person on this planet before she passed away, but she it reminds me of talking to my Mimi when I talk to Dag. Like he is that kind of spirit. Just love him.
Yeah, man. You just like life is good. You just like talk to Dag, life's good. You know what I'm saying?
Completely takes the edge off.
Yes, absolutely. So that's the part I'm probably gonna miss the most in conjunction with the tangents that would come as a result of just life and stuff like that. But, at the end of it, I get it, shout out to Sacred Streaming, and, the kids want what the kids want. You got to give what the audience want. If the audience, is definitely gravitating towards this. And I told Carl, I was like, look, bro, you streaming, they ain't going to see you. People going to get, like, just ILP alone, the foolishness they got us doing, right? But I know he ain't going to take it that far. But just for people to be able to, quote unquote, touch him, so to speak, be able to get a response, to act, and he going to see that is going to go crazy. So I think it's overall good for LSM. And yeah, to Joshua's question, sure, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If we can get in there and show some Sega love or some streams or whatever he wants to do, I'll make myself available. You know what I'm saying? And I know Matty's got ideas and things as well if his number's called. So yeah, I think overall probably it's going to be a net positive if I had to guess.
Yeah. I'll call myself out. When Colin went around the horn and was like kind of feeling us out on what we wanted to do, I was like a little like, oh, sweet, we're getting rid of Constellation.
Get rid of that 4 hours?
Yeah, to be very, no, it's not even the time commitment. Like that was part of it, but to be very transparent with the audience, like I did at one point message Micah. I was like, I don't think I'm very good at the show. Like, I don't think I'm a good fit. I think I'm too young and I don't think I offer much insight or value to the show. Like, I do think I'm like an addition by subtraction. How about we put me on Summon Time more often? They didn't want to do that. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, I'm not going to say no to showing up, but I also don't think the show is my strongest suit. Like my strongest suit is talking gaming. I am a thoughtful person, but I feel like forcing myself to think that out on podcasts became very tough for me. And there were certain topics that I didn't feel comfortable talking about. Like I didn't want to talk about politics, for example. Like there was an episode Colin was going to bring me on where he was talking about, I forgot if it was the election or something. I just told him straight up. Like I texted him and said like, hey dude, like I'm just not here to do this. Like that's just not what I like. I don't mind having a conversation with you, but publicly, I don't need to, like, I'm not so desperate to find content that I want to air this out on a platform. So when he started talking to me, like one of my ideas was I kind of proposed like more YouTube stuff. Like I proposed like, because I thought of the idea when I saw Brad and Gene sit down after Gene played the Switch 2 and they made like a quick 1 hour conversation.
I did see that.
And I'm sure there's still room for it at some point in the future. But I told Con, I was like, I think that's something we're not tapping into. I was like, I feel review style things, shorter form, not shorter form, like literal shorts, but I'm saying like for our version of shorter form, like an hour conversation about a game when it first comes out rather than, the kind of like 3 weeks delayed spoiler cast review discussion that like 3K people watch. Like there's a way to get more of the audience involved. I think the audience, I told Colin, I said, I think the audience moves quicker than you might be giving it credit for. I think streaming is like a good answer though. Like I'm not a huge streamer. I haven't streamed in years. So I have like mixed emotions about it. Cause when I streamed was a good time to stream because the audience wasn't nearly as like nasty as what it is now. So I have my reluctance with getting, not on Last Stand really with all of us. Like I'm not going to put myself first in that regard, but on my own platforms and stuff, it's like I have there's a reason I stopped streaming. I'm like, I just have my reluctance with how I see audiences behave, or I'm like, no, like I'm too opinionated for this show. Like I know, I already see the comments. Like I know what y'all are going to do. So yeah, I'm interested to see, because like I don't really know the full game plan for Sacred Streaming, but I'm just going to basically do what any new show Colin's launched is and just like watch, observe, and see what he wants to make of it, and then just kind of follow up on that. But yeah, I mean, I get why people are upset with Constellation going, but for me as like a host, I definitely think I could feel some of the fatigue in the company. Like I think, I saw a lot of people really pop up like, what the fuck? Why is someone else hosting? I'm like, I think you all know we'll put the product first. And if no one wanted to host, it probably says how many of us felt about the show at a certain point. And, Colin being the first in that regard. So, that's where I'm at on it. I just want to offer some transparent thoughts on it because I know it's a pretty big shakeup, but I think it'll pan out for the better. I think being able to interact with the crew live is much more valuable than hearing us debate hats or some shit. That's just my 2 cents.
You want to talk about trivialize?
Yeah, no, but I don't want to trivialize people who are like really big fans of Constellation. Like I get what it means. There's never going to be a win when you stop doing a thing. There's always someone who really liked that thing.
Of course.
But it also seemed like, you got to respect the vision. And it seems like Colin had a particular vision for Constellation that just did not go, like he wanted to talk about current events. And I think quickly realized that we weren't going to do that, because I don't remember if that was communicated or not, but nonetheless, that's not what it ended up being. So
right,
it just
kind of devolved into something else. Yeah, fair enough.
And if you really wanted to get deep into it, the other thing I advised Colin on was really the algorithm side of things. So I was like, YouTube doesn't like it if like we're doing all gaming and all of a sudden you're like, let's talk about bottles of ketchup. It's like, but that's just, you've got to grow last stand.
Got to be the bad obscure joint, which you say, yo, if you want to talk about, war and hats.
Yeah. I don't mean like disrespectful.
If you want to talk about salt packets.
Because we talked about so many different things that sometimes I'd like get the topic email and I'm like, damn, what do I want to talk about? Like I'm glad I ended it on turning 30. I was like, that felt like a very meaningful topic to like just really pick everyone's brains about. So yeah, I'm going to miss it, but also I feel I'm better suited for other content here and I can recognize that. So I'm very optimistic for what we're doing. I'm excited to see what people think. And it looks like folks enjoyed Colin playing some Kingdom Hearts. I also saw Colin did not hate Kingdom Hearts. Like, I tabbed around the stream a little bit.
About that.
He finished his first session and went, I don't hate it. I actually kind of want to see where it goes. I went, really?
That's a surprise.
That was a bit of a surprise. So yeah, that's over on Patreon. It looks like the streams are out for free and then patrons get the VODs. So you can check it out that way. Otherwise, though, big love to the audience. We appreciate you supporting us through some of the shifts that have been happening lately.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cog, we got to catch up with you now. Big Afro Man 14 is issuing a big stand down to you. He says, Matty, I don't know how caught up you are on ILP and Cog's recent slanderous statements on anime, but this man must be stopped. So for once, we need Cog to come to the front of the congregation. He called Bleach, called Naruto whiskers. He made fun of Rock Lee's fit, haircut, and calling him whack. Cog called Naruto 90-21-0 Ninja High, which I thought was funny, not going to lie. Then proceeded to call Gaara Pigpen from Charlie. It got so bad with his anime slander, we had to bully him with super chats and make him Cog Lee. So, Matty, put some sense into your co-host and tell him how good Rock Lee versus Gaara was. P.S. In all seriousness, you guys have been killing with the content, so I just want to say great job and keep it up. Oh, boy. Cog, I've been watching these clips, and I got to say, your disrespect is hilarious. Like, your indifference to it all, and just like, I forgot, you were watching a Boruto clip, and the dude with the visors shows up, and you pause it and just look, and you go, man, what's this? And it's funny because you offer legitimately such a valuable opinion in that I'm so used to seeing that shit, like that I'm numb to it. Like the character design in, say, 100 Line Last Defense Academy is so batshit insane, but I don't think twice about it. But someone like you, I watch, who's not used to that, going like, yo, why is this dude looking like that? And you start to realize that because the character goes so deep that a lot of these character artists are like, fuck it, give him visors or something like that, like whatever. So walk us through it, Con. How has the anime adventure been going? You seem to be very frustrated with what shonen anime are doing out there. So I'm giving you a platform to just, speak your piece.
So here's the thing, and I try to let people have nice things and enjoy the things that they like, right? So what I could tell, let me give the audience some credit. They, not only do they love this, they want me to love it, right? So I'm trying, right? And I'm old. I get it, right? I have not. I guess Naruto it's not new, right? It's been around for a while.
2006
is right. So again, so to me, this is new. Right, all this is new to me. I haven't watched anime since like the 90s. Like it's been that long.
Come a long way.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, this is what the kids, this is what y'all watching. All right, let me see. So they started with Bleach with me, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. But this is the thing I noticed with these animes is so much pontification.
That's the shonen special. I've been trying to negotiate with Attic. I'm like, you got to show him the light side at some point, bro. You got to show him like real storytelling and like the condensed anime, like a Death Note. You got to show him like an Attack on Titan. Like you got to show him one that clicks for him. Right. There's some shows I would want. It's all over now. Like you've soured on it so much. It's like I've given up hope that I can convert you because this has really just it's poisoned the well, man.
Yeah, but it's making me double down now because I don't like the fits.
Right.
Bro, here's the thing. The fits, it really bothers me. Like, I can't. It wouldn't have bothered me. Like, me and my man, shout out to my man Iowa, because he gets me, right? He's like, Cog, I know you're old school. I get it. I think I know what you're going like. He put me on to something called Sword of the Stranger. Fire. I was like, oh, this is my pocket, right? But with Naruto, I said, the thing that, remember, I'm Lord Cognito. I am the gaming ninja. I'm Shinobi, stealth, ninjutsu. Like there's a traditional fit in what ninjutsu and stealth means, right? And again, not that ninjas can't have action and do anything and not do any kind of magic. But I'm like, I'm watching these shows. They spend 30 minutes talking, right? The fits look a little wild to me. And on top of that, they calling themselves ninjas and no one's doing any moves. The first one I saw was a Kakino, I forget. Kakashi. There we go. Yeah. Him versus the other kid that he went to school with, right? Yeah. That, I was like, finally. But to me, they are sorcerers. They're just doing magic. Gara got a unlimited dust in his backpack, and I'm like, okay.
Have they had you watch Naruto versus Sasuke yet?
I have not seen the Naruto fight yet.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Everything they showed me.
I told Attic to put you on. I was like, that one's got some hand to hand, some running around. It's like high speed, but it's got hand to hand.
As long as you got that, I want to see what they can do. So all I see Naruto do, at first I thought it was an animation error. I was like, yo, they drew another one right next to him.
Clones. Yeah.
I was like, okay, clearly this man has clones. Now I will say, the episode Naruto won me on one episode was the Madara dude. The Madara dude.
Uchiha, yes, sir.
I said I like him. Now, but
the best part of Naruto, in my opinion, are the Uchiha. The Uchihas, like Sasuke, Madara, Itachi. Bro, they got the whole United Ninja Nation to come together for this man. Then this man is dead. And it's like they resurrected Michael Jordan. He is the greatest. And now you're going to fight him. You got to team your powers. Yeah. I loved it. He's wild, disrespectful. But here's the thing. I think I figured out why it doesn't resonate with me. It's just like, bro, I feel so bad for the writers of this series. Week to week,
they write themselves into all type of corners. Yo, because his Jaijutsu and his Paijutsu can only do this. And Paijutsu. Bro, they always got a thing that someone doesn't know about, and then the other person's surprised, and then he goes into another move that the other person don't know about. They keep one-upping each other and writing themselves in the corner with power levels, and I'm like, I can't.
Hate Dragon Ball, and it's honestly made me lament Dragon Ball a little bit because because when they start the show, it works, right? They're gradually growing, it fits, but after Z and they go into Dragon Ball Super, all of these characters are so god tier that their hair is changing like 40 different colors, and it's like, what level can they hit next? And you can just tell that they're spinning their wheels and running out of ideas. And because I get Naruto's one of the longest shows you can watch, so it makes sense why you'd feel that way, because it definitely had to just keep evolving these characters with like new forms constantly. That is the issue with shonen.
I tell you, and it goes so long. So to their credit, though, I know why y'all love it, because you've been with these characters for so long. And one thing I did like is seeing Naruto and Gaara at that early fight. And then I'm like, oh, Gaara's kind of like a good guy now. He's evolved. And okay, I like a great arc. Yeah. I like the newer ones because I see now, I'm like, okay, the development. And I'm like, all right, so that I give y'all that.
But it's funny because you're just, I think, how many episodes is OG Naruto? OG Naruto's hundreds of episodes, and so is Shippuden. So you're seeing like a 300 episode jump potentially. With like Gaara being a good guy. And because like the Hidden Sand Village attacking the Hidden Leaf Village is like a monumental part. Like, I like OG Naruto better than Shippuden. Shippuden's got like way higher stakes fights, like with pain and whatnot. That shit's awesome. But like OG Naruto just holds a very special place in mine and other people's hearts, because you do watch these characters grow.
That's what I felt.
And like the mission statement from Naruto is like, I'm gonna be Hokage, and like you're on that road for so long. The problem is, in my opinion, Boruto's where they bring it's like, stop.
Yeah, they
I
play too
can't get.
much.
I've tried Boruto a couple of times. It's not bad,
Mhm.
but it's like, to me, I will just say at the end of Shippuden, the story was over for me. You know, that is where it ended. I've tried to get into Boruto, but yeah, that's where the character design got whack. It started to become very. I call it Fire Emblem character design. I do love Fire Emblem, but like old Fire Emblem games, like you mix and match these characters together, and those characters would have kids, and those kids would look like hybrids of the two characters that just had a kid. That's what Boruto's character design is. Like, okay, we're gonna take these two characters, put them together. They're gonna have your pink hair, but they're gonna have like your snarky smile, like, and just I can only handle that Blender style character design so much. so I'm with you to some level.
To some level, not fair. So that's my thing with Naruto. They Bleach. I noticed I like I like the villains. Like I'm into the villains. So
dude, yeah.
I forgot to believe some dude was Asden or whatever. This dude was wrecking dudes. I was like, okay, I like him. And then now I will say the one that they showed me for the first time this week was the Demon Slayer. That one, I said, this has to be like the jump in animation.
Well, Demon Slayer is like leader of the pack now.
This is by far the best. I was like, okay, still don't know about the checkerboard fit with your man.
Oh, you don't like Tanjiro's? Come on.
He wear a straight checkerboard.
Dude, I love Demon Slayer.
I will say though, like that, I like the premise already. I was like, okay, these dudes, like you want to, it's almost like vampires, you know what I'm saying? And you got to cut the head off. I was like, I can do it. But yeah, the first episode I saw, they had some dude. He had the fit was good. The power levels, and they were getting to it. See, you gonna get me when you get right to it for the most part, or you talking while you fighting. That's cool. But yeah, so far
Demon Slayer is like I feel it is like the unification of so many great elements from anime that came before it, and its animation is next level.
Oh,
I mean, you have not seen anything yet. There are some fights in that show that are unbelievable still to this day. There's so many fights that I think from modern anime we could show you and put you on. JJK has a couple of good ones, hand to hand. There's one, I'm forgetting what it was. It was on Max though, that I was like, I feel like Cog would appreciate this. Modern animation has come a long way. Where that would help bridge the gap. Modern anime storytelling though really hasn't. There's only a few that I've really fallen in love with, and it's funny. Like there's two I think of. There's Free Ren. Free Ren's amazing. Very like great storytelling, slow, meaningful character building, just about life itself. But it's also kind of like a fantasy role-playing game. It's really good. Very humanizing anime. What was the other one? It's season 1 specifically, before anyone freaks out, of Promised Neverland. They fucked it up so badly because then the show had much more to show, but they rushed the entire rest of the run into a second season, and it just was awful. So they skipped like massive parts. So everyone's just like, watch season 1, then read the rest. It was so disappointing though, because season 1 of Promised Neverland is some of the best anime you can watch. Like, the way it's shot, it's cinematic. It's not about fighting. It's just, it's like great storytelling. Like, it's just a bunch of kids who are like it's hard to describe without spoiling, because the first episode is such a strong hook, but basically a bunch of kids trying to investigate their origins is what I would say.
Okay.
And it's just a very creepy, tense show, and again, just for an anime, really well shot. It's so there's some good shit out there still that I would love for you to see, but I mean they
keep coming, bro.
Putting you on Shonen was a mistake, is what I would say, because they're putting you on the marathon anime that even I can't hang with most times. Like, it's just it's
the
tough.
sled. I can't. I have no filter. So like when I see something that I don't like, I'll pause it. I'll be slanderous. Like I'll just like, what the hell is this? Like I'll go in. But don't get me wrong. All jokes, I am having fun.
Yeah, no, it looks like you're having a good time.
Yeah, I'm having fun. So they making me suffer, but they keep like. So I usually about 2 or 3 each week. And shout out to the guys when they joining the ILP Patreon. We've been really seeing a lot of growth there. So salute to everybody who's been pitching it.
Good. Well, you got to sort it out. I'm getting one as well. It comes from Cog's alt account. That's when you know you've made it on LSM, bro. When you got people making their little handles after you.
That's fine.
Hello, Dukes. I need to sort it out. Our issue is sorted out to Matty. I know Xbox has been burning as we speak, but your goats are outside, and I haven't seen you talk about them. First, Kodaka has a new game, his second game of the year. Sorry, Tribe. No, yeah, that's right. We don't count that one. Called Shoot in Order. It seems to be an adventure game with 5 genres, which releases on September 5th for Switch and PC. Are you excited? Second, Fallout is back with the physical release of the show. I believe it released this week with the exclusive Amazon Steelbook version. As the physical bro, are you completing your collection? And finally, Persona is back with P5X, a gacha game spin-off of the series. It seems to be good, albeit a bit goofy. Look up the first palace. It's very funny, but it suffers from being a gacha game. Have you played it or are you even planning to? Sorry for the long ride and have a great day, gentlemen. First off, I got to call him Cog. First off, Cog, if that's really your name, we don't play. We don't play. All right, yeah, I did my part. Physical Bro came out and did his part. This was pre-ordered over a month ago.
Fire.
Did you get your Steelbook, my friend?
Oh, I got to get that.
You got to sort it out. Yeah, this comes with, I still got it sealed, but it comes with the nice art book. And so I don't even have like a Blu-ray player. I guess technically I do with my consoles, but like I literally bought this just on principle alone.
That's awesome.
I'm there to be a customer, man.
That's awesome.
So yeah, did my part on the Steelbook. P5X, I've been getting a lot of people writing in, telling me to try it out. It's like, look, man, especially this year has been very eye-opening to me. It's like, I really got to pick and choose carefully. Even when I really like something, if it's going to be a long haul, I got to love it. And so like, I love Persona, but as I said on Some Design, I do not love it that much to play a gacha game. Never, ever. Like, I'm just not like it. It just, especially, it's a parallel story to 5. I'm like, dude, 5 and 5 roll were 400 hours of content for me. That's more than enough. I'm waiting for 6. Okay. I'm not interested in P5X.
You're 5'd out.
Not 5'd out. It's just like, this is a gacha game. Like, I know I've been here before. Like, gotcha. I tried Tribe 9 we'll go to Kodaka in a second here, but I tried Tribe 9. Like, I love Kodaka. Let's see like what he did with this. And it's like, yeah, immediately you feel restricted. It's a business model, and I don't play games that are business models. I play games. So I just, I can't. I love Atlas, but I just no. Like
you can't do it.
I can't do it, man. I know myself. I know that I'd enjoy it. I'd try it, but this is just not something I'm down for.
I respect it.
So I've said that a couple of times, but we keep, especially on Someone's Sign, like, Matty, when are you going to try it? I'm like, I'm not. I know
what that is, bro. It's the same with me, but I had to come up with a fake kid and the damn Transformers mobile games, and bro, it's bad. It's bad. I think the worst. Another one was Tekken had a mobile, it was called Tekken Card Tournament or something. Tekken, bro, it was super addicting. Oh my god. Yeah, I once I see those announcements, I'm like, I'm good. The same thing with like Marvel Snap. Like I know
Marvel Snap seems like it might be innocent enough. I don't know.
It might be. I know I can't control myself.
Yeah. Like, I love a good card game. So, for me, I can get into that sort of stuff. I guess that is my own. Like, I guess that's really it. Like, you can see the Final Fantasy box behind me. Like, I got my own gacha shit going on already. I'm already a man with a helpless addiction. Let me be, I don't need more spending issues. Let's just leave it there. In all seriousness, though, I don't have any interest in P5X. Now for Kodaka.
Yes.
Yeah, my goat has been outside this year. Shoot in Order did catch me off guard when I saw the announcement when it was just the Japanese trailer, and then they dropped an English trailer like a week or two later, and then they dropped a release date trailer. I don't want to say it was like a month ago or something like that, but yeah, it's coming out September 5th, and it is written by Kodaka. And I got to keep my man in business. Like, I'm going to be there. I was there for Tribe 9. I got to help out the process. I will talk about Kodaka in a little bit and how Mr. Schreier did an interview with Kodaka, and he was talking about 100 Line. He's like, he wants to support the game for many more years and add more routes and more stories. And I'm just like, bro, let it go. You got to let it go. Do not do this. This is a really he is a great writer. He's a great mind. He does not sound like a good business owner. He does not he makes some really questionable choices.
Oh, sound like my man Yu Suzuki. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, it really that is a perfect comparison. It is that Yu Suzuki energy of he just let him create. Some biz dev guys gotta make the choices though, to some extent, because Kodaka just going I want to support 100 Line for 10 more years. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna play this game for 10 years at this rate. No.
I know.
Bad. But Shoot in Order.
Yeah, how's it?
Looks solid. Yeah, there's 5 genres is kind of a stretch. You know, like it's like some of them are like Tetris puzzles, some of them are like adventure mystery games. One of them is just like a visual novel. It's like it stretches itself in an interesting way. But it looks good. It looks like a murder mystery game. That's Kodaka's specialty. And the art style is very different from what he usually does. So keeping my mind open to this one, but I'll be there day one. Unfortunately, no physical release though. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Digital only. But yeah, Shoot in Order will be a day one pickup for me. And I'm hoping that Kodaka's pen has rested a little bit where he used all his writing energy in Last Defense Academy, and Shoot in Order is like not a 90, 100 plus hour epic. Okay. That's what I'm really hoping for there. So yeah, I feel like I've talked about most of these, but COG's alt account, I'm happy to support nonetheless.
Had to do my thing.
Yeah. Now we got a new write-in here. This one's from Terminal Autism. Their name, not mine. Hey, Matty and Lord Cog Lee. Matty, I've got to ask, are you waging a personal war on standard hydration? 1 week you're sucking on a barrel. The next you're sipping from Arthur Morgan's Lost Moonshine jar. Is a normal water bottle just too basic for your refined podcasting prowess? It's like you're actively trying to make us feel a little inadequate in the size department. My only solace is that Matty's water choices are more consistent than Xbox messaging kind of day.
Yo, y'all quick with it.
Oof, tough. That's when they're getting creative. That's when you know.
Yes.
All right, so let's walk through the water escapade here. So
what happened?
I don't know if anything really happened. I just got tired of lugging around the jug for a little bit here, you know, because what would happen is that jug holds about 120. Well, it holds more than that, but really you're supposed to have like 120 ounces of water a day. I think that's the number. And this mason jar holds 30, not 32 when I fill it up.
Right.
So I found that I wasn't drinking my daily water amount. I wasn't finishing that jug for months. I just couldn't. Like it was just you're constantly working down the bottle and you just can't. I don't know. You just can't. And so when I went to North Carolina, I didn't take my jug with me, and they at Laylee's parents' place had like like mason jars like this, and we've had mason jars in our house. Like that's been standard. Like we don't. I'm gonna sound fucking pretentious for a moment, so I apologize. We try to avoid buying plastic water bottles. Like we're that family. We try to avoid it as best we can in that regard. So yeah, there you go. There's your pound of flesh. You know
they wanted that. The streets had to know.
You can have at it. So yeah, I'm trying not to be pretentious. Like we care about the earth,
but, the earth, and the energy.
But yeah, it's us doing our part in some small way. So, but it also helps me with like, it's easier to drink 3 or 4 of these a day than one big jug is what I found lately. It's just, I just gulp this down quicker. I don't know what to say, you know?
It's mental. Yeah.
It's a little bit of the mental, little bit of the mental, but also like, it's the lugging around process. It's also the water temperature. I've found that when I'm podcasting, recording, a crisper, cooler glass jar goes a long way with me. I think if people watch the video very intensely, you'll see I drink a lot. I over salivate a ton. That's why I have great admiration for like sports commentators who like just talk, and I don't see them like stop to, swallow their saliva. Like, how do you do that? What is the process? Like, I'm still deeply fascinated by that.
Yes.
As someone who talks all the time, I'm like, I don't get it. So I usually drink to just like cleanse myself after every sentence. You'll see me drink after this question here. Like, that's just how I am. It's very compulsive with me. Maybe a bad habit. I don't know. But yeah, I've just found the wide mouth mason jar. This has really done it for me. I'm not, you can slander me, but it literally says here, wide mouth. I'm not, look, man.
You had to throw that on it. You was doing so well, and you had to throw the wide mouth on it. You know what they're going to do to you.
No, it's a wide mouth mason jar. Look, there are the small mouths, and this is the wide mouth.
Oh, then you got the throat coat, and now the wide mouth.
Yeah, the wide mouth throat coat.
It's crazy in the household.
I know. You just can't get away from it, I fear. But yeah, terminal autism. There's your write-in on why I am drinking out of a mason jar. Thank you for observing so deeply. Nevitz is our next write-in. Hello, Duke Dudes. I feel that there hasn't been a good food discussion as of late. What is a dish that reminds you of a family member? Every time I make my grandmother's chicken goulash, it reminds me and my of dinner time outside by the pool at her Florida home. Thanks, guys. Food is powerful, is it not?
Yes.
Can sometimes make you deeply reflect. I've got simple answers. I got complex answers. You got anything off the top of the dome here?
Yeah, I think of my grandmother. Rest in peace. But yeah, she had the curry. She do a lot of West Indian dishes, so that's what I would get a lot of that from her. My mom could cook. Don't get me wrong, but like it was very specialized with my grandmother, and I would go. So it'd be like, and that's the first time I ever had really spicy food in my life, and through her, which was because it was like curry chicken, and the chicken was always soft, it's so good. And then they had this thing. It's called roti, where it's kind of like a almost. I want to say like a panini. It's like this, like a breaded thing that you kind of put it in. You can eat it by itself. It's so soft. The texture's so nice. It's like almost like a soft flat bread that would go on to the side of the curry and the chicken, and it was just so good. So you can kind of like sop it up if you want, do that kind of thing. Oh man, it was so good. And then they do, because I shout out to my my Spanish brothers and stuff like that. But because they do plátano, like Saul's family, they do sweet plantain, which is plátano, which I love. Don't get me wrong. On West Indian, it's kind of like it's a little different. It's still sweet, but it's just the texture, the way it's prepared is different. So that would be, and it's almost like a dessert in a way because it tastes so good. You give some kids something sweet, but it's also healthy. They're gonna go crazy. So I remember this dish when she would prepare, but like my mom wouldn't cook, and then we go upstairs to see my grandma, and I'm like, yeah, it takes me back to that era, man. So shout out to some good West Indian food.
Interesting one.
Yes.
Very sophisticated answer compared to what I can give up here. Yeah. So for me, I think of two things. There's one. This is a very uncommon dish I've learned. Have you heard of creamed onions?
Yes, I actually have heard of it.
Finally,
yes, I have heard of it.
Here. God Almighty! Like everyone I talk to is like, "Yo, you're eating what, bro? It's creamed onions, bro." I get it, bro. Like they look kind of foul, but like my Mimi made them every Thanksgiving, and that is her dish. Straight up, like there's very few dishes I can think of that are personalized to a single person. But I've never been to a restaurant. I've never been anywhere where I've seen creamed onions. Not that it doesn't exist. Obviously, it came from somewhere, but like I've never been anywhere where I've seen it outside of my Mimi. And my mom has carried it on, and she's taught me how to make it. And it's literal family tradition. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So yeah, it's cool to have something like that that's been passed on. The other is like if we're talking about a family member, I mean, like really being out on the barbecue, which reminds me of my dad. Like anything along those lines, like that's just fatherly behavior. What can I say?
That's dad vote.
Yeah, my dad makes a good burger, makes a good steak, like just really good with the seasoning and everything like that. It's funny, like the way you kind of described your grandma, it sounds like that's where my dad's pocket was. Like my mom does mostly cook. My mom's an amazing cook. But when my dad shows up, like he just shows out once every like 3 months. It's a big fucking deal. And then like he just doesn't cook for a long time because he gives it his all. And I kind of feel like we've carried that tradition to our house. Like I can cook quick and I do more cooking probably than my dad does. But Laylee does a lot of the cooking and she's incredible. But like I think when I show up, because she does so much of the cooking, I'm like, okay, I got to make this special for her. It's like how I think about it. So I go all out and like, okay, I'm going to go to like this Asian food market. I'm gonna buy like the dumpling wraps. Like I go like full authentic and like make us like homemade dumplings or something crazy as like almost like in my head like a makeup meal. But yeah, my dad, I think about like when he's usually when I'm having like a little barbecue or something, like that's that summer smell, that breeze.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. I've been really, you know what? It's funny. I've been really, I bought a Blackstone griddle last year for my 29th birthday, actually. It was my gift to myself. And I realized there's a little bit of like bitch in me. Like there's a little bit I had to warm up to like turning on the propane tank and just like firing it up and just making that casual, right? And like also overcoming the effort levels it would require. Once I got over that, bro, I've been just on my deck all summer. Just any chance I could get like grilling stuff, burgers, hot dogs. I've just been having so much fun using my griddle. I love it out there. I think I said it on Summon Sign. But the weirdest thing I think I've ever done was I was feeling a lot of stress this last week, and I went to my deck and I started griddling stuff just as sort of like a decompression exercise. It was really nice. It was a good time.
That's dope, man.
I've been on that Bubba Burger lately.
Bubba's, yeah. Remember, I actually learned about those through the Mets. I remember when I used to do the commercials for them. Mets used to, Bubba Burger was a big thing for Mets during I believe, the early City Field days and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that popular brand.
Yeah, I think of Micah now. She's become the Bubba Burger girl because I remember talking to her about it, and she remembered it so well. She texted me a different type of burger she likes. She was just like, I know you like a good Bubba Burger. I'm like, wow, that's so sweet. So yeah, Bubba Burgers remind me of my dad and now Micah, who's technically family at this point. Okay, we got 2 more write-ins. We'll get into the gaming news. This next one is Paladin of Pain, an actual health is wealth write-in, I suppose. Hey, Glorious Dukes, a little health is wealth write-in today. I've been vaping/smoking for about 5 years now. I'm starting to think about the effects this is having on my body, and I'm wanting to quit. Any advice? I can't wait to play Balatro on a $1,050 handheld PC this holiday kind of day. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into those leaked prices in just a little bit here. I got a suggestion for you, Paladin of Pain. Now, full transparency, I did do a sponsorship with them, but I think their product is really great. I'm not a smoker, but Fume, this little thing here. They basically take these plant pods. Let me see if I can pull this off here. You're watching the video version. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
There you go.
They take these plant cores and you put them inside this kind of metal smoking thingy. I don't know why there's hair on it. It's all dog hair. My dogs are constantly in here.
Rufus
and then
is outside.
Rufus and Forrest, man, they're crazy. And then you just close it, and then you kind of just get that hand to mouth motion fix done with. You don't really inhale anything. It's just vapor, or not vapor, but it's like a plant. So it's not bad for you, at least to my understanding. And it just, again, gets you that fix. And I think eventually once the fix is handled over a couple months, you'll just be like, why am I still doing this? And then you'll just put it down and that'll be it. Good thing to fidget with, it twists, it makes noise. You can I keep it on my desk because I just kind of flick it around like this sometimes when I'm thinking. It's a good go-to for that. Gets my brain going. But yeah, I'd really recommend that. Fume, F-U-M. Look it up. Yeah, it's for people trying to quit smoking. It's really good.
Oh, that's what's up. I like that. Yeah, no, I've got nothing really better than that. I mean, I get it's tough because obviously the addictive aspect of vaping and stuff like that, and obviously you got to try to come up with a plan, to slowly, wean yourself off. That's actually a great idea, and I think a lot of it is what you said. It's besides the addictive aspect of it, it's also the oral fixation aspect of it. So, some people I see homies do straws, toothpick, gum, different things. It's tough, but a lot of people do say the patches also work for them too. Yeah. So, you got it is kind of a personal how your body reacts kind of thing. But I think yours sounds amazing. I think that seems like I would try that.
And I don't think it's too expensive either. So I would recommend looking into it. But it's good you're quitting. It's good you're trying. Yes. Locke is quitting as well.
Oh,
and he's 2-3 months in now or something like that. And he says it got harder as time went on, but he seems to be doing well. So
I definitely was thinking about him in that. I'm happy for him. That's what's up. I like that.
All right. Last write in here goes to Temizgen. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. What's good, Dukes? After hearing the discussion over the last couple of weeks about COG's dilemma with difficulty settings and last week's talk about Tekken 8, it made me want to ask a question about your guys' history with competitive gaming. What's the absolute sweatiest you've ever been at a competitive game and or genre? As a big fighting game fan, I'd especially love to hear about your most skilled fighting game. I myself am a Street Fighter 6 addict with 1,300 hours of game time, every character in Master, and I float around the 1,700 MR in Ranked. Much love and have a meet me at Chinatown Fair and run this fucking set kind of day. I love the confidence, love the energy here. All right, Cog, let's get into the history of sweat with you. What was the sweatiest you've ever been with one video game, one genre? It's got to be a fighting game, I feel, with you.
I've told the story before, but Tekken, man, it's in my blood. It's in the genes. Again, Chinatown Fair days, local arcade. First, you start with your local circuit. You know what I mean? So for mine, it was 161st Street, Yankee Stadium Bowling Alley. It was a very big scene. And the best players would go there. At that time, there were no Evo, but dudes would put posts on GameFAQs. And they would be like, hey, meet up here. We're going to run sets or run tournaments, stuff like that. As you get your name up there, you start beating people there. It went from then Chinatown Fair and stuff like that. But actually before that, it was on 34th Street by Madison Square Garden. Had a big scene also as well. And I would say this is between the Tekken 3, also from the Tekken 3 to the Tekken Tag 1 days was kind of like my peak era. And yeah, man, I mean, I faced a lot of great players, and you learn how to be adaptable. You got to learn how to adapt on the fly. Also, again, the days of competitive fighting with the person right next to you, right? It's different, right? So, some people are disrespectful, some people are very cocky and arrogant. And then you got to deal with the hanger-ons and the people on the outside, the oohs, the ahs, the noise and stuff like that. But man, I loved it. I used to treat it like martial arts for real. I used to be like, hey, I've got to be the best at this. I used to watch
every day.
Yeah, you're training, you practice every day. We would have dojo sessions. I told people about the Iron Man competitions we would have amongst ourselves, where shout out to Kaibatsu, Saw, King, everyone. What we would do is, and we would have to do an internal ranking amongst ourselves before we would go compete in tournaments. Wow. So how we would do it is just, hey, we would fight each other until it does not stop, until there's a 10 win gap. So we could be all night until that. So basically you're establishing dominance for your ranking. Bro, it would go crazy.
That's insane.
Classic stories, bro. King did some stuff to some people. Boy, back in the day, it was kind of hilarious. King was a terror, man. King, I'll tell you this. Y'all see King now. Picture him in a fighting game, consistently talking and making the crowd laugh at you. Yeah. If that does not build mental toughness, nothing will. So I was dealing with King all my life. I was like, this is my cousin. Like, he's a terror to me. So when I started beating on him, I'm like, oh, I'm ready for it. Nobody could face me. At that point. So it starts at home.
Yeah. I love that.
That's what I'm getting at. But yeah, that's probably the sweatiest I've ever been, and probably the best I've ever been. The thing that I always wanted to be good, but I was just never as good at. I just wish I was good at Halo, man. I wish,
Halo's
man.
tough.
They was tough. I always was middle of the pack. I couldn't get those high KDs and stuff like the dudes are just sick with the BR and the pistol.
Lasers. You go on Master Chief Collection, like I sometimes want to fire up like a Halo 2 multiplayer and you're quickly reminded who's been there since 04.
Bro. I'm always reminded. That's the one I'm always like, damn. And then the one that solved baseball games. Bro, I could not beat that, man. I think maybe one time. I think if we played 1,000, let's say we played 500 games over the years of baseball, I think I may have beat him twice in my life.
Wow.
That's how dominant Solve is in baseball games. Strategist, just understands things. And then remember I told you, he was a pitcher himself. He played, like he understood the game, bro. Like, so that's it. Oh, I forgot one. Madden. I had a run in Madden.
Oh, Madden competitive time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madden, we used to go crazy with that. We used to do custom teams. We used to do tournaments. Madden, I had a run. I had a good three-year run with that joint. We were very competitive with that. And then online, it was good, but then, the cheaters, and then, how the dudes were, like, the dudes doing all type of illegal stuff. And then I think that was the year when, I got to, no disrespect, but your team ruined it for Madden. When Michael Vick run came out,
yeah,
bro, people had to put dime defenses just to try to contain Michael Vick. I used to hate playing the Falcons when I see somebody online. I'm like, oh my God, I got to deal with Michael Vick. What am I going to do? Bro, Michael Vick was the ultimate cheat code, man. He was so dominant. It was nothing like him.
That was 04, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
04.
Bro, the Vic era, man.
Yeah.
I remember, don't laugh. There was a dude, his handle was Vic in your mouth. He would go undefeated on everybody on life. You saw Vic in your mouth on the online leaderboards. It was a problem, son. It was a problem. So yeah, those are my days. So of all my competitors.
Oh man, these are great stories. Yeah, for me it was Call of Duty. That was the big. That was the big one for a while. That was like my all of high school. Up until up until Skyrim broke me. I was like, I can't do Call of Duty anymore. Skyrim's like way better, but I still like hung around until maybe like my first year of college. I floated in and out. I'd say Black Ops 4 was my last real run with it. So like I started competitive Call of Duty play, I want to say my freshman year of high school. And I was there before there was money involved. I always say that I was a generation early on competitive COD because I feel like if I was really good. And I feel like if I was in the spot that esports are in now, I probably could have made some good money off of it at the time. So I'm a little like, there's part of me is like, salty. Damn, I wonder. Cause like, I mean, dude, I committed to the craft. Like I had like a routine. Like like players got the warm up routines and stuff. Like I'd get home from high school. I'd come home, I'd wash my hands, I would get a snack, and I'd warm up in the firing range for like 30 minutes. It's like, until I felt right, until I felt there, until I felt like
weapons, which was running like a SCAR. What was the weapon?
It depends what game we're talking about. I played Black Ops 1 was my best run. We were on a top 2 team. We lost to the number 1 team pretty handily, but we were on a top 2 team. We were team 0. If anyone ever remembers that, ZRO. We were team 0. I was 0 timing. That's I had the gamer tag and everything.
Tags and everything.
But yeah, that was us. That was during Black Ops 1. And I was more of like an AR guy. So I remember the G11. Oh my God. I fucking love the G11. Yeah. Like something just deeply satisfying about that weapon to me. So I like that one.
What was the perks? Give me some of the perks you was running if you can remember. You used one of them dudes doing. What was
you
it?
Always had to use the
last stand. You used one of them dudes.
No. You always had to go because we were search and destroy team. So
you do search and destroy team. So that's out. Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
So yeah, it was always like dead silence, right?
Dead.
Marathon. I want to say rapid hands. I'm trying to remember what perks were there. It was one of those like automatic things though, where you just like same build loadout for everyone. But yeah, that AK-74U was sick in Black Ops. So I remember running that. Obviously, during that time period, a lot of shit talk, voice messages, getting in that game chat, and like, anyone who's being cordial. Like, I don't know, I fed off that shit. They'd be like, all right, good luck. I'd be like, go fuck yourself. And like all right, yo, they're pissed. Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Like, I just want to get in their heads. Like, I was definitely the Draymond Green of competitive Call of Duty. Just love to get in their heads. But yeah, I remember anything could be competitive from that point. So like I would do like, they had different ladders on game battles. They had like singles, doubles, teams. So like we would go from like, let's do doubles in MW2, and then we'll do like team ladder in Black Ops, and then like hardcore ladder had its own thing. Like, it was popping, bro. It's like I think a completely shut down site now, but game battles was huge. And and you had like a rank, and they eventually introduced an MLG rank. The highest rank I got to was like 900 and something. Like I was up there. And that was when I was playing a lot. Like I was sitting in tournaments. Like this is when Nadeshot played competitively, and like I was sitting in tournaments with him. Like I was kind of in the thick of it with like Optic and whatnot. That was like right when it was starting to grow, but I was also starting to get burnt out on it. But yeah, I also played FIFA competitively.
Wow. Okay. that is just a curveball. I see that one coming.
I loved FIFA. I loved FIFA 13, especially.
13 was your
incredible soundtrack too. But yeah, like my friends and I played so much. So like, there was like a FIFA singles ladder, and like I played competitively in that for a while. And I used to be mad nice at FIFA.
Who was you running with?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah. Okay.
Couldn't tell you shit about soccer, football, whatever. Nowadays,
that was me at NHL. I didn't know what I was doing, but I liked the game.
Yeah, I like sports games became a little bit of an outlet for me. Like when like, cause when the friends weren't online and I wanted to still play, that like that competitive itch got me. I would just fire up sports games, and I would do like NHL. NHL I'm still pretty nice at, but yeah, Call of Duty was the big one. I played that for years and years. And my last run was Black Ops 4. We went like 20-0, and then we started to lose. And then we were like, all right, we'll just disband the team. Because you have to have a like, nice record. It's like all ego at that point.
It's all ego. The record is messed up now.
It's funny because at that point we were playing for free, because it's like at that I was like still reviewing games at that point. I was like, I told the guys, I was like, I'm not doing this for money. I was like, I have to keep my eye on the ball here. I know where my career is now. I'm a career man, but I'll play for free. And so, yeah, we got on the free ladder and we played that, and now the site's dead. But it was really good because they've done so many things to evolve the competitive play in Call of Duty. Like they would make, it started with Call of Duty World War II from Sledgehammer. They had like, literally you'd schedule the match on Game Battles, and they had a link from Game Battles and your username and your match to their own private matches. So you would just click like a menu for competitive play and just join your match, and you'd get pulled into the match with the people from game battles. Like it was really cool. Like there was no longer that, like, what would happen for those who played during that era, you may remember, but what would happen is like you would get scheduled for a match. You just keep refreshing your team page until you got an update. Like, okay, we have a match accepted. Okay, let's see who we're playing. Okay, this is their record. Here's their gamer tag. Who's going to add them? Or you get added first, and it's like, yo, I got added by Sasuke Uchiha. It's like, is that person on their team? And then you check their team profile. It's like, yeah, it is. Like that got all removed by that point in time. Like now you just join a lobby, you play against each other, you move on. Right. There was like no real talking. The rules were auto set because they would just read the rule set that you agreed to on your match profile. Like it was great. I was like, oh damn, the spark's coming back. This is 2017. When I was a little lost in life, I was like, what am I doing with myself? I was like, yeah, let's go back to old times. But World War II sucked, so there's that. But yeah, I played a lot of competitive Call of Duty. A lot.
Search and destroy game. That's what the real men were made, man.
Oh yeah. I had to be that high stakes. I started to play more respawn based stuff, but it just the intensity wasn't there. It was a little boring, you know. And
there was something to be said about what I remember, because my boy, you remind me of my boy Sinister. He was a big COD search and destroy guy, and there's something to be said that I missed the days where the chat was mandatory, and then like when you get in the match and you don't hear your man no more, and you don't, everybody's dead.
It's funny you saying that reminds me that was supposed to be the rule, that you had to be in game chat. But everyone, it was like a gentleman's agreement. Everyone was in party chat. Like,
we're still doing. Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, 100%. Every top team was doing that at that time, because like it was just like you were at such a disadvantage if you played by those rules. So when we saw people like chatting in the game chat, we're like, what idiots, bro? Like,
like we doing that?
Yeah, like we're not doing that. Like that's ridiculous, you know? Because like it eventually didn't make a difference, because like there was a camera control in like the old Call of Duties. I think it's still there, but when you were like watching your teammate who you know, you could press third person, you could like corner watch for them.
Yes,
like that was a setting, fortunately, so they turned that off. And so once that's off, like when you're talking in party chat, it's just like someone dies, like what's the call out, and that's it, and then you just like dead silence, bro. That was the best part, when it was like a clutch moment and it's dead silent in the party, and you're like, pray, especially, bro. There were some moments like ice in your veins, like 1v3, it's 3-3, final map, final round. And like you just clutch up, and like the vibe after, bro, it's a literal team win. Like everyone's feeling good about themselves. But also like, dude, there were some fallouts. Like my friends and I would get into arguments over shit. Like it was like real serious shit. Like, no, we're not playing team tonight. I'm playing doubles with Tim. Like I'm not dealing with this shit tonight. Like legit, like, bro, we were dead fucking serious about this. It was crazy. Like we were so serious that like when we traveled to South Carolina, because we were hanging out, and funny enough, my friend Tim, his house, like we all brought our Xboxes with us so we could play competitively in the same house, like online against other people. And that was so awesome, because we would like just after matches get together, discuss strategy. All right, like we were in the hallway talking, all right, let's go back to our Xbox, we got a match. Like, bro, shit was awesome. So I'm glad I played it when I did, and I got over it when I did, because I feel I stopped at a right time where like single player was taken off and I became Mr. Bethesda. You know? That's all it took. One Skyrim and I was out.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to me rant and rave about that. Let's talk gaming news here, Cog. The first one up, Arkane Lyon. Here's they are safe for now, and some good news. Arkane Lyon was unaffected by the Xbox layoffs in a financial report documented by The Gamer. The team remains as is. Perhaps in a bit of a letdown, though, for some, is that the game had entered full production at the end of 2024. It was only announced at the Game Awards 2022. So it was in pre-production for a couple of years here. It's just firing up on all cylinders now. Did not get cut short. That does say a little something to you, right? About like what Xbox might think about the Marvel license and what it can do probably in a multi-platform state for Arkane Lyon, giving them a chance there. But good to know they were unaffected. I mean, they did perform well with Deathloop to our understanding. So it seems like the right choice. But obviously we know this has been a set of layoffs that have not involved a lot of the right choices here. So any thoughts on Arkane Lyon making the cut, Blade starting full production just at the end of last year?
Yeah, so that was the surprise for sure.
Yeah.
But just happy again that they're around, because obviously we love Digga and see what they're doing. I remember that announcement and how excited he was. It was so personal to him. And yeah, we'll see. I'm curious now though, in a multi-platform Xbox future. If now, because remember at the announcement, it was all the controversy. Is it an Xbox exclusive? Is it not? I think it's safe to say they probably need to make that multi-platform to get as much as they can on that license. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously we don't know the extent of it, but I'm pulling for them, man. And I again, we lost Austin, so we got to keep Lyon, please.
Yeah,
So,
we got to keep one of them around, man. Like I can't deal with losing all of Arkane here.
Arkane is special, man.
Yeah, I agree. So looking forward to what they're doing. This is going to be unfortunately one of those cases where the game was announced too soon, but different era of Xbox nowadays.
Yes.
So we'll take it as we get it. This next one, positive update here for now. I did have a couple of Zenimax staff reach out to me with this news, so there seems to be a little bit of like, okay. A new post from the official Zenimax Online Studios United CWA Blue Sky account has provided potentially uplifting news here. Despite the cancellation of Project Blackbird and the departure of studio founder Matt Firer, Zenimax Online Studios has not seen any layoffs yet. The statement confirms that 222 developers at the team were hard at work on this project, but also addressed that these layoffs are likely, unfortunately, inevitable. So I guess it just means that right now they're hanging on a little bit longer. I want to be fair here, because there's some balancing of the scales in this conversation, this episode. There's some news that I think is some good, like, make up stuff, might make people feel a little bit better. Like right now, Zenimax Online Studios, no layoffs. But I think when you think about the environment in there, it's kind of like just waiting for the axe to fall. Yeah, and that's got to be a shitty situation for morale. So any thoughts on this, Cog? You've been in this position before more than I, so I feel like you can offer a more intimate perspective on what's happening with Zenimax Online. Like, do you take this as good news? Like, yeah, fortunately, the letter from the union says like they're still being paid, right, still employed, still benefits. They're negotiating with Microsoft, but it seems like the layoffs are going to happen at one point or another. Yeah,
it's inevitable. So it's like how it is. On one end, it is the morale is bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but it's one of those things that generally what happens is, in my opinion, like severance packages and stuff, all that stuff is still being worked out. So we're in transition. And the best thing is that at least you have some time to search, look, and assess and try to figure out, okay, because the worst thing is the immediate cut. Like the immediate cut is you walk in, I remember it like yesterday, like I survived like 4 or 5 rounds, right? So one of the worst things is like, your coworker, your colleague, hey, I can't log into my Slack. I can't log into my, access. And that's the one that hits hard. And then, the email goes out that day of, generally kind of people don't work that day and no meetings are scheduled that day, because it's kind of like in respect of what has happened. And then, there's an announcement, and then usually about a day or two, and then they try to get back to normal. So yeah, I feel for those guys, and obviously was working on Project Blackbird. Obviously, the human element is really tough, but the only silver lining is that at least it's not immediate. You got time now to prepare. Now it's time to get the contacts together. Now it's time to obviously resume out there. You really got to prepare, because this is very critical that you have a little bit of a window. And then hopefully one thing that does help is that severance. You know what I'm saying? You get that nice little severance, give you a couple, 3, maybe that 2-3 months. Hopefully they get blessed. That gives you a little window. And then you apply for your little unemployment. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. So shout out to everybody. And again, that's why I always, whenever I see something up, signal boost. Hey, they're looking for programmers. They're looking for graphical art, and it's networking time, baby. So that's what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a really interesting time here over at Xbox, but just thinking of the people at Zenimax Online Studios, just great team over there. And hopefully everyone lands on their feet, but it's good to know they have a little bit of time to coordinate things and hopefully land somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Sticking with the layoffs a little bit, Rare has commented on them for the first time since Everwild's cancellation. And there's a degree of transparency here that they provide in a Sea of Thieves update that I thought was a little bit jarring given the status of the game, how well it seems to be doing, but we'll read it. So first, let's start off with the statement they made about what happened with Everwild in a Sea of Thieves update. They said, "Hi everyone. I think it would be strange to jump straight into our usual updates without acknowledging the news that we've ended development on Everwild here at Rare. While this didn't impact directly Sea of Thieves, and we're continuing on as planned, our focus as a team and studio is on supporting our friends and colleagues whose roles are at risk. It's impossible for something like this to not ripple through the studio and affect us all in some way or another, so please bear with us." And on that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's reached out to check in on us and share their kind words of support. Genuinely, thank you. It means a lot. Then they turned their attention to Sea of Thieves. This was in a separate community update, and we're actually quite forward with where they were at with the project. Quote, "We always felt like we're on the back foot. With a lot of areas, we felt we were slow to react. We don't have the necessary resources or team structure to allow us to jump straight back and start to address some of those things that we're seeing, whether it's around quality control and shipping features at a place where we're not happy with it, to game performance, like slowly being in a place where we're adding new features to the game, but performance over time is degrading to the game security. I feel like we're too slow to react as cheating started to build in the PC community. And there's a couple of areas around that, even just long-standing bugs in our ability to go and address that stuff alongside features. I think if I summarize it, it is almost that we are on the back foot, and I want to get us to a place where we've got teams in place, we've got structures in place, and we can just be a bit more reactive and then get into a place where we are proactive, where we're actually shipping features and we're knowing the performance of them so we can feel more comfortable as a team when we're shipping updates," end quote. So I was a little surprised by this. Just given how good Sea of Thieves is performing, or how well it's performing, sorry. I was a little surprised for them to just kind of talk about like lack of resources, and I wonder if some of the Everwild team could have come and helped that out. But I will say one thing in my experience is, and this is purely my experience, is sometimes throwing manpower at a problem is actually not the solution. It is like a process issue.
Right.
And so that is, in fairness, that could be just on personal experience alone. That changes a lot of things. When you get your process down, you can sometimes do way more with less. So manpower isn't always the solution. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But I thought this was a interesting, transparent comment here from Rare. Any thoughts on what they had to say?
Oh, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Did not see this. Brutal honesty. You rarely see this level of transparency with any form of a live service game, as far as like being on the back foot. When you say you're on the back foot, that is say, hey, we could be way better than what we are. I will say it again, not to be negative, but I got to be honest, like, it does bother me to see that, hey, we don't have the necessary resource or team structure to allow us to jump straight back in. And again, like you said, not about just showing, throwing bodies at it, but what's up with the process, right? And that's where you hope leadership could come in and say that, because if he's lamenting that, right, that to me denotes a bigger issue, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I respect the honesty, because most devs will not put that out on the situation, but I would hope, because here's the thing that surprised me, because we've seen Sea of Thieves do well, but I want to defer to Ben, because I do remember when we used to have Ben on, we used to talk about Sea of Thieves, he used to mention, about the PC community and then the cheating and so on and so forth. So yeah, man, I just hope, the way I look at these bad things, Matty, is that these are mini cries for help, and that from management, again, because I'm going to be on Xbox about this, about management and jumping in a timely fashion before things erode. And this is from a game that is actually doing well, right? This is from a game that's one of their stars, right? That is, came from, where it came, where the Kraken was lacking, and then it came up and shot up, to the top. And Sea of Thieves is a model that everybody like. It's such a unique premise. So I hope this is heard. That's all I want to say.
Next up here, we got a little Easter egg causing a mild stir. Emphasis on mild, because it's kind of one of those things where it was no news, and then headlines covered it, made it news, which then really emphasized why a lot of people don't care, but why like a handful of people in a subreddit do. Nonetheless, we're talking about a Guitar Hero Easter egg found in the latest Tony Hawk game, 3+4 Remake. And if you check it out, you'll see an image of what looks to be as defined on the Reddit post, legally distinct copy of Guitar Hero sitting in the trash can on the newest water park level. And some people are like, oh, this, the post of this Reddit picture says, goes to show Iron Galaxy's respect for Neversoft. And so some people see it as a dig or a joke. Now, the developers, Iron Galaxy, said, "We have the utmost respect for anyone who makes games. We're investigating how that got in there in the first place. Thank you to the community for bringing this to our attention. We'll be removing that from the environment art in the next update." I don't know, bro. I mean, I was looking at the subreddit afterwards. Let me link this one to you. Unfortunately, the audience can't see it, but like,
what's the Reddit's looking like?
No, I'm linking this post to you of like what else is in the game.
Okay.
It's a literal, for those who aren't able to see, it's a sex doll in a closet with handprints over the chest. And I'm just like, you guys are upset about this? You guys are upset about a Guitar Hero package being in the trash can? I don't know. I kind of read it as sort of like the gone and forgotten. Like, I kind of read it as like, oh yeah, that old thing. Like, throw it away. I didn't really read it as a dig. It comes across like overly sensitive, which I know is like coming from me. Like, I could be sensitive at times, but Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't read it as a dig. Do you?
I don't even know. I mean, look, to me, that would denote like a contentious relationship, right? Like there was all like, discuss. And unfortunately, I don't know the history with Iron Galaxy, and
I don't think there is one.
If there was one, so to me, I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this in defense of people who are taking offense to it, to put Guitar Hero in a trash, basically the imagery looks like it, right? So it's like, okay. It feels like maybe one person is in the building who got feelings, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's what it is. But it's a nothing burger to me. But I am curious about all this other stuff that you just showed me. And I'm wondering if one person or one artist or whoever, it's just a little extra with his creative expression and trying to
no one's gonna notice,
right? Like did one person try to hijack the game with his feelings about how he feel while he working? That's what drives my curiosity about the situation. I don't find this crazy offensive, but it is interesting that it was found and people are going crazy about this. But yeah.
The other interesting part of this is it's a game called Banjo Champion. And 5 years ago, there's a Reddit post here, and it's on the same subreddit. And it says these are Guitar Hero knockoffs in the hangar, and it's a bunch of copies of Banjo Champion. So it was in the first set of remakes, and no one gave a shit. So
they're just they're the edgy whatever, artists.
Tony Hawk games have always had a very edgy sense of humor. I love it. So I don't know.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Let's talk about more important Tony Hawk news. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 is fully on the disc, and get this, it seems to be, from people's investigation, only Xbox. So, twisting my arm here, Xbox. First the Fallout news, now this. I'm like, damn. Okay, guys, settle down. I know you want me back.
Redemption arc.
Yeah, I know you want me back so bad. But in all seriousness, man, great news. Like, I love to see this. This makes me want to go support it. So I originally wasn't going to buy it, but I think I will now, because knowing it's fully on disc makes me very happy. I want to put my money where my mouth is. So I'll be looking into grabbing this one. I've also always had Tony Hawk Pro Skater on Xbox. Like, I have behind me somewhere on my shelves, on my original Xbox collection, all of those Tony Hawk games are on Xbox. Like, that's where I played it all the time growing up. So good news there. A Xbox published game fully on the disc for the Series X version.
Wow.
How about that? Any thoughts or feelings, Lord Digital?
Don't get used to that. Don't think that's going to be a trend, but hey, God bless. I did not know about this. And why only them? That's very strange. That's an anomaly.
Yeah. I mean, the other weird part is, I mean, I know it's Iron Galaxy working on it. They're a great team, but like, it's an Activision game, man. Like, what the hell is this? Activision's like the antithesis of everything, like non-gamer. They're just like, yeah, bro, like, ship the product, whatever's easiest. And you got developers working hard. It's all on the disc. Don't you worry. We've taken care of you, game preservationists who want to play Tony Hawk 3+4 remake. We've got you. It's like such a weird cut, but I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. I'm not going to complain.
For sure.
All right. In more Xbox news here, according to a former Turn 10 employee on LinkedIn, Forza Horizon 5 sold 2 million copies on PlayStation 5 in a single month. You know what's a crazy thing to think about with this stat here? That's more than many of their exclusives. And this game's like years old. It's been around, extremely successful. It comes to a new platform, sells 2 million copies in a single month. They're probably looking at that like, okay, this is like a bad faith assumption, but I'm like, I wonder if they look at that and then they look at Indiana Jones and they're like, what the fuck? Like, like that's like the comparisons you could make based off player count and whatnot. Right. Like, I just wonder how well this sold compared to like other Xbox exclusives that had good marketing, strong marketing, but unbelievable. Just this game is bottomless, man. I guess there's always more Forza Bros out there to be found.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, it is the king. It is the king, and the single month is what gets me. That short amount of time, and I've been looking at the player count on Xbox, and it's been hovering back up into the top 8, top 10 consistently. So there's a resurgence, whether that base now is up and whether it be
crossplay,
exactly. So I'm seeing some after effect with this, and now it just it gives them a great data point to say, okay, how does this do? How does this racing game do? How does it, different franchises? How does the PlayStation audience respond? And I think that's what we're doing here. And it's clear as day. Forza Horizon is such a big, massive franchise, and the fact that again, cars. It's what I consider the international franchise. Yep. Like it's one of those things. No matter what country you are, you love cars. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. And PlayStation is supporting. So, get ready for some more stuff.
Absolutely.
Coming.
You guys are going to be well taken care of.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's move over to actually a game that was saved by PlayStation fans. Fallout 76.
That's true.
Thanks to PS Plus. Y'all kept this one hanging around. And now guess what? You're getting TV show content to match up with the second season this December for Fallout. Speaking of Variety, John Rush, who is creative director on Fallout 76, said the two teams are talking and looking to line things up. The seasonal releases of the show. Obviously, don't expect too much. These are like, it's funny. I didn't think about it until actually John Rush pointed it out in his interview. But Fallout 76 is at the earliest point of the timeline. And then the TV show is at the latest point. So there can actually only be so much overlap that makes sense here before, like, look, man, I am a lore geek with Fallout. But there are some lore bros out there, Bible thumpers for the Fallout Bible. Oh, my gosh. Like, there's a reason these Fallout devs don't play around with the lore. Like, this is an obvious business opportunity. Even they are like, yeah, there's things we can do, but only so much. So, yeah, just a heads up. But I'm excited to see what this will be. It's probably just going to be cosmetics, but nonetheless, I think this makes sense. I'm surprised it wasn't there for the first season outside of a Vault 33 jumpsuit, but nonetheless, glad they are capitalizing, doing the obvious thing here. Cog, any thoughts on what 76 is doing?
Respect the law goons. Make sure they take care of, because they will come at you. They tried to come at the script and Todd. I remember in the beginning they had to get checked there. They had the information wrong. But this is good. This is good. You want to line it up with the show, everything that you could possibly do. Line up with that to just get that viral marketing going, and obviously the wrap up of what now season 2 should be ready, right? As far as the show.
Yes, it's season 2's apparently coming out this December. So I'm thinking they have like a Fallout Day stream now every year on the Great War date of October 23rd. So I feel like we're going to see it then.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good spot to drop a little something.
Oh, yeah. And I just think that Fallout 76 has just been the recipient, right, of the initial wave of influx. And that was good to see that series just completely get kind of that boost in the arm, that shot in the arm, just go boom. So, let's see what's up, man.
I mean, concurrents are still pretty good.
Right?
About 10K, 24-hour peak. Like, not incredible, but like that was floating. That was like double where they were last year.
Right before. Right. Yeah, they got to at least there was something to take advantage of. Then we'll talk about what else needs to be taken advantage of it.
All right. Well, hey, in more Matty Corden news here, Oblivion Remaster. It's getting a physical release for Xbox Series X. We don't know if the full game will be on disc, but this news comes by way of the Game Collection in the UK. Pure Xbox reports the Game Collection was the company that broke the news a few hours ago. They were immediately inundated with questions about whether the Xbox version is on disc or not. Unfortunately, they are unaware either way. In the terms of this version specifically, it's being advertised for €34.95 on the website, and the release date is set for October 13th, 2025. The box strangely mentions that it's a Series S in addition to Series X and Windows. That leads us to believe it may just be a code in the box situation. So not getting my hopes up yet, but Xbox, if you can have lightning strike twice, that'd be awesome. As for Oblivion Remastered, another patch is out today. And it is an important one, I believe. Number one, they've added additional difficulty settings to allow the player to further tune their combat damage and enemy combat damage experience. Players can now select novice, apprentice, adept, journeyman, expert, and master options in the gameplay menu. And we hope the journeyman setting specifically will act as a better bridge between adept and expert for players. This is fantastic as someone who deeply covered this game, because I literally said in my video that there is a big gap between those two. Like when you go from adept to expert, I literally said word for word, bar for bar in my video. I went, there's like a huge difference here. There needs to be something in between. So I'm curious what that is, but they're taking what I also suggested, which is a bit of the Starfield approach, like the damage balancing in Oblivion. When you get deeper into the game, gets wonky. And I said, Starfield is a great solution. They just have like player combat damage, enemy combat damage.
Love that.
And it's wonderful. And it augments your XP. I don't know if that does that here, but I love that they've done this, because I think it is the perfect solution for a lot of the damage issues that Oblivion has incurred. It's also including in this patch a bunch of crash fixes, GPU related crashes during autosave. So those are some that really got me. So I'm ready to start coming back now. I'm gonna finally go back, finish my playthrough. I think this feels a little bit safe.
Yes.
We're gonna go for it, see where we end up. But it's out on all platforms as we record right now. It's on all platforms today, including Xbox. So go ahead and check it out. But yeah, Oblivion Remastered got a very important fix finally. So I'll be checking that out and probably talking about it on a video, knowing me. But yeah, that's it. Cog, any thoughts on either of these Oblivion Remastered updates?
Big. All I cared about was the fixes and the patches, to be brutally honest. No disrespect to the difficulty. I know that's big. For me, I just did not want to experience it. Because what's funny is I didn't have the issues you were having, but I wasn't that far in the game. So once you were telling me how bad it was, and then, people were hitting me up like, Cog, are you getting frame rate issues? Are you? And I'm like, really? So once I heard that, I'm like, all right. So many people are complaining. Let me stop. I don't want to experience it. This game is beautiful, and I don't want to experience any crash. And then you talk about crashes to the dashboard and kicked out the game. Nah, bro, you're not doing that to me.
I got really bad. So
yeah, you scared me. I was like, bro, I'm good. Let me know when it's safe. And now I'm looking at this detailed list. This 1.2 patch notes looks like it is, for the most part, stable and safe. It's so many quest fixes, so many performance fixes, and UI and patches. Let's go. That's what I want to see. So now I will fire that bad boy up, and I might take that on the road with me. We'll see. I'm gonna take the Ally on the trip.
Okay.
The flights are short, but we'll see how it does. See how it does.
Good stuff. Yeah. Just seeing the crash fixes, the overall stability. I know it was to be expected. I know we're talking 3 months after the fact, but when I laid down the controller, my Final Verdict video said, I'm waiting. I'll play it later.
Nice.
That's saying something, because I have tolerated a lot of BGS stuff before.
That's a good point.
I'm excited to check this out. Sticking with Bethesda Game Studios, Jez Corden spoke a little bit on Starfield's next DLC, and we'll talk a lot about Bethesda Game Studios later in our number one topic on the show, including Fallout. Jez said the following, though, on Starfield's next DLC, quote, Bethesda's core team is still working on Starfield. Starfield's going to have more DLC from what I've heard. I don't know when. I just heard that at least the Starfield DLC, and this is post-layoffs, by the way, hasn't been canceled. It could be canceled in the future, next quarter. I don't know. But for now, it's not canceled. So the core teams at Bethesda right now are working on Starfield DLC, and also Elder Scrolls 6 is full steam ahead, end quote. So it lives on. I was a little bit curious after the layoffs and the focus on getting our money as quickly as possible. And as we'll talk about a little bit later, the green lighting of multiple Fallout projects. And now we know one of them is Fallout 5. And just that completely changes the situation there, as I'll get into. We're looking at Starfield still getting support. There's still value to Xbox here to keep this thing alive, especially after Shattered Space was a big dagger. Really, it was. They're not letting it go yet. So really hoping that whatever they're doing here is a redemption arc. They need it. This needs, like, it's not, I'm not trying to overstate it, but I think I'm stating the obvious. If anything, this needs to be really good. So Starfield's whole legacy, I feel, kind of depends on this turning point for them. That's what people thought Shattered Space was going to be, and it seemed like it was going to peter out from there. If they're going to hang with it, they have to give us good reason to come back, because a lot of there's difference. I understand this. There's a difference between me, who's like in, and I want to just see what they're up to. I love their games, and even when they're like really bad, I still want to see what the hell went wrong. Like they're like a science experiment to me. There's a big difference between me and someone who's like, already made their mind up about Starfield 2 years ago. It's like you got to do something serious to overturn people. So
absolutely,
very curious what that's going to be. Don't know when it's coming though. Cog, any thoughts on what Jez had to share here? Starfield lives on.
We have life. The patient is still alive. We still have a pulse.
Yes, sir.
I was worried, So, look, obviously I love base Starfield, but I hated Shattered Space. And this is like Destiny, right before they need a take a kick moment. This is right when, Destiny 1 was at its lowest and player count had dropped. They made a bunch of, they came off the Curse of Osiris, was considered the worst DLC in the history of Destiny. And people had completely lost faith in them. And that wasn't the initial vision. This is, to me, similarly, Shattered Space was such a miss. And both of us have went in on that content. Yeah. And we thought we was harsh. Remember when the Metacritic came out? I think it was like a 50. Wasn't it really low? It was really low.
Yeah, it was in the 50s.
It was in the 50s, bro.
It was just above Redfall. And by the way, the problem with Shattered Space wasn't even bugs. Like that's I know. So it was like a low score on just quality alone, which is really that's got to fucking sting, dude.
That has to sting. So now the learnings, right? They go away. We didn't see them at the last show, the showcase. So and I thought well maybe just a PS5 kind of a port situation, and then maybe they skedaddle. But this is good. At least for right now. If we hear that they're making content, take the learnings and let's see how you transform. But this is critical for them. They've got to earn the trust back. And I'm pulling for them, man. I still love Starfield base game. Yeah,
I agree. And it's just it's such an interesting time because with these cuts happening at Xbox, like the indication has been, at least from the media, that it's not done, that we could see cuts next quarter even. And that's the kind of ominous energy that's looming over Xbox now. Is like, I'm looking at this going, it might happen. Like there wasn't really a surefire bet either way, I feel, given the status of Starfield, but it's hard to lead into this type of information because you just know as soon as a quarter later it can change. And so until Xbox overturns that, it just changes the dynamic of the conversation that you can have about their upcoming stuff. Like, it has to exist for us to really settle into a strong talk on it. So I'll have more thoughts about Fallout and where Bethesda is going as a team. Many thoughts. I talked for like 26 minutes in a latest video on it. And I was in my bag. I had so much fun making that video.
We will discuss.
All right. Well, Cog, I wanted to get some of your news in here. The Alters has sold 280K copies and has 1 million wish lists on Steam. Kind of new metric there to throw. Like, wish lists are usually tracked by like publishers, developers, like pre-launch, but to share it as part of the, I guess maybe what they're kind of looking at is the overall conversion rate, maybe. But 280K copies sold. Pretty good stuff here for 11-bit studios. Your Alters doing nice on the market. How are we feeling?
Feeling good, man. It's one of them cog ones, man. The little cog games. Farty, but this is so good. And I really implore people to play this game and give it a shot. And yeah, man, 280K, let's go. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, the Game Pass bag and exposure, I thought did them well as far as on Xbox for people to jump in. Anybody who's played this, cog, I really do enjoy it, and the replayability is there. So I'm excited. I know I actually, after I got it on Game Pass, I've been taking advice for some. I got the upgrade, you know what I'm saying? The joint, so I wanted to give them a little extra on top of their little Game Pass, you know what I'm saying? So I purchased that upgrade, and I did see in the description, the game description, they have content coming. So there will be.
Well, when you do the math here, ignoring like the 30% and whatnot, just for a moment. Yeah. $35 a pop because it's a brand new game, 280K sales. It's a $10 million revenue pool that they're kind of fucking with here, which is pretty big money. At least from the outside looking in, looks like pretty big money. So I imagine, more content coming, that adds up. That's a lot of money.
Pulling for them, man. Shout out to the Alters. More pierogies for everybody.
Yes, sir. All right. Next bit of news here. Ken Levine did an interview with Night Dive Studios. And he spoke a little bit about Judas. He was also talking about System Shock 2. I didn't watch the whole thing because I still have yet to play and finish System Shock 2. So I wanted to experience it for myself before listening to the rest. But he did talk a bit about Judas, and he said that Judas, quote, is a very old school game. You buy the game, you get the whole thing. There's no online component, no live service, because everything we do is in service of telling the story and transporting the player, end quote. So a lot of what you'd expect from Levine, but in changing times and in long development cycles, you never know. So I thought I'd make sure y'all know what my man's about. So it's an update on Ken Levine there. Cog, any thoughts on Judas?
Not much throwback, baby. Let's take it back to the essence. I don't know how corporate feel about that, but salute to you to sticking your vision.
I don't know what he's got on straw selling, but bro, Take-Two seems to just let him do his thing.
Bro, he got the nudes.
He literally, he's got to have to have this long of a leash and to be like, unless they think like you're gonna make the next BioShock, and when you make the next BioShock, it's gonna be this cultural phenomenon. Like, I don't know, like
faith, the resources, the time,
unless their team is just so small, where the resource pool is like a very small dent, even if they're just spinning their wheels for years and years. I don't know. But that man is comfortable.
I'm jealous. I'm like, bro, that's a level of security you dream of. What?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking unbelievable.
Salute to him. Whatever he got going on, salute.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to Judas whenever it comes around, but it seems like Take-Two and Ken are inclined to take as long as it needs. All right. Next bit of news here. Just want to talk about Xbox Game Pass deals. Always like to get a little bit of a look behind the curtain here. Tamor 222. Great account. Did some digging on the LinkedIn, as he does, and he found a senior business development manager that was at Microsoft from November 2018 to July 2025, had, quote, negotiated 500 plus deals ranging from $50K to over $50 million, securing both indie hits and AAA titles for Game Pass. So just so you know the range they are working with there. I knew about some of the money deals happening with Game Pass, but a $50 million deal is pretty fucking staggering, man. So I just had to throw that in there as a little food for thought. Cog, your thoughts?
Bro, the disparity is so crazy, right? Just see, I mean, on one hand, I kind of like it because you're not playing favorites in terms of scope, right? So you're getting small, but you're getting big. And then I am, noticing they're getting a lot of third party debuting their new IP that's, looking really good. Like I look at, for example, we look at Claire, right? We look at now Wu Chang. I'm looking at that. Like there's certain, like they're in a good pocket what I feel what they're choosing. But yeah, you realize that some of the deals had the cost. I'm wondering what's the 50 bill. Like, is it the reestablish? Is it like when GTA goes back in? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious.
So many layers to it, like the renewal
so many
deals.
Layers. Yeah,
who's like they just brought back High on Life, and I'm like, I wonder what that was. What was the price for that? You had it day one,
bro. You noticed that in Ascent? You saw Ascent came back.
A what?
The one that you hate, Ascent. Remember Ascent, the top twin stick shooter?
I completely blanked on that.
I know you.
Yeah.
You wiped that.
I really wiped that. I was like, "What's he talking about?"
Yeah,
you said like a space cent. I was like, or like a penny. I was like a penny came back to High Life. Like they got a coin back. I was like, what the fuck's he talking? I'm sorry, I blanked completely there.
The Ascent. I didn't put the proper thing.
No, you're good. You're good. That's me.
But yeah. Like I was like, I'm seeing reoccurring games. Like, what is that about? That is interesting. So I would assume potential
developers double dipping. Yeah, this is.
I think I got the pick though. I think the solution. I got to see it as you are now hyping them up and prepping them prior for them to come out for their sequel, because we saw, remember, 2 is coming out with High Life. I just saw. I'm mad at myself, but I'm not mad at myself. Remember, I was playing RoboCop. RoboCop is now in Game Pass, the first one, the Rogue City, and they coming out with a DLC. So now they doing this new thing where they're infusing life into the older title to get you ready for the new one. So I'm like, interesting strategy right now.
Yeah. I wonder what those deals are going for.
Yeah, we're going to see what that bag is.
That is quite the range, though. 50K to 50 million. That is quite the range. So good to know developers are getting paid out there. All right. Got some Halo 1 remake rumors for you. This is courtesy of Rebs Gaming. Seems to become now a trusted Halo insider. I mean, we've covered his reporting for a long while on the show because it's proven to be accurate. numerous times. And so he's back with Halo 1 remake details, but not just that. We're talking about the next mainline Halo game and Project Ecker, the Certain Affinity Halo game. So first off, let's start with Halo 1 Combat Evolved Remake. Development of this began in 2023. Right now, the release is planned for next year, which, Phil, in fairness, I gotta stop myself. He did say this, but
yes. We'll see if it comes to fruition. Yeah. It was stated.
That was like automatic. Like that was the. I'm not even trying to do that for show. That was literally automatic. Like, Phil did say. Fuck. Wait. I gotta.
That's where we at right now. Okay.
That's bad, man. Okay. Well, nonetheless, that was what was confirmed by Xbox executives. That's the insider scoop. Planned for 2026. No multiplayer, campaign only. A little surprising there. It might come to PlayStation. Also surprising there.
Yeah.
Moving over to Project Ecker. This is still going and it's getting regular updates. There is an API account attached to Halo projects, and it seems like every 6 hours or so it's getting new updates. So they're working on it pretty steadily. It's coming along, and Rebs Gaming kind of suggested we might hear from all these different titles at this Halo World Championship Series. So that's this October. Definitely keep a lookout. But interestingly, Halo 7, the sequel to Infinite, that was how he defined it. Again, he said the sequel to Infinite is in pre-production. And just after the book and everything, I'm like, what are you guys fucking doing with Halo 7? Like, well, I am so on this ride. I got to see what the fuck they're doing. No idea. But also no plans right now for Halo Infinite to PS5. Little surprising there too. Mm-hmm. So those are the updates on Halo as a franchise, the 3 projects seemingly in development. What do we make of this all, Cog? Campaign only, Halo Combat Evolved Remake, maybe PlayStation. I'm reading here a reluctance to get rid of Halo. I kind of thought Halo 1 Remake was... I thought Halo 1 Remake was sort of this like, oh yeah, this is where we're going to hit the reset button, get the PlayStation audience, the Nintendo audience in. But looking at it now, I'm just, I'm like, well, maybe PlayStation for the remake and nothing for Infinite. Mm-hmm. What is your read of this all? Are they holding on?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling 2 things. I'm feeling because it's in development again in 2023. There's a part of me that feels like, okay, remember, that was a different Xbox at that time, right? So there's a part of me that feels they were not really prepared to be in the porting business just yet. So maybe that is a factor there. That's 1. 2, obviously, it's tremendous significance with the Halo 25th anniversary next year. This is huge. We talked about our ILP. Like, literally, the birth of Xbox is the birth of Halo, right? So what this shows me, when I see might, I was like, what you mean might come to PlayStation? Like, you need to do this if this is your strategy, and it tends to be this. So is this a situation where it's just like, I don't want to say that they're second guessing, because I do think it will come, but is it going to be a situation where it's going to be like a Indiana Jones, where Xbox will get it, and then there's still some sensitivity in the building to do that. But see, my thing is, it's still contradictory because it's still mixed messaging, because you did Forza, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even though it wasn't day and date, so to speak, Gears Reloaded, right?
Yeah.
Gears Reloaded. So again, this is where it's the mixed, we don't know what the hell they doing, because it's just like, on one minute, you're like, balls to the wall, everything's going, there's no red lines with stuff. But then there's other thing that you showing signs of like, hey, we're not ready to give them everything just yet. We'll give them that, and we'll give them one little. It's so all over the place with this. And last thing I'll say, Project Eco is very interesting to me, because as far as this multiplayer project, I guess my concern now is, if Halo Combat Evolved Remake is not going to have multiplayer, which I actually don't have too much of a problem. I know some people do. I actually don't have too much of a problem. But you got Halo Infinite's multiplayer out there. Then you're going to have Eco, which is going to be this own project, which I'm hoping is something unique, something cool, something dope to get maybe newer players into the Halo ecosystem, as opposed to the traditional, deathmatch kind of thing. That's going to be interesting. But also, what's the timeline for the releases? Because according to Revs, right, Halo 7 in pre-production. To me, that feels like you are lining that up for the next generation console. Mm-hmm. Right? So what's the rollout? Next year, what you call it? Combat Evolve Remake. 2020, so 2026 Combat Evolve Remake. 2027 is potentially Halo 7 or Halo 8 or 2028. Like, I want to know, where does Eager fit in this? That's what I'm trying to figure out as far as the time, because in my opinion, it has to have enough time to shine on its own to develop whatever it's going to develop from a player base standpoint. And how do they reveal it? Like, is it, because it seems like its own separate entity. It's not part of Halo Infinite. They seem to be moving away from Halo Infinite because we clearly know they're not doing story content in game and they're doing it in books. You close the chapter on Infinite as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
And last thing that I find is very interesting is that Infinite is not going to PS5. It's
At least
interesting.
not yet.
Not yet. So I would have to believe that you are going to nickel and dime the Halo series. And I'm going to have to believe, my prediction is you're never seeing Master Chief Collection on PlayStation or Switch. And 2 reasons. 1, they want to nickel and dime. 2, from a technical lift standpoint, we know that game is a lot. It took them forever to get that game right. That was one of the worst game launches in the history of gaming that I've ever played. I never picked up a game and it was physically broken. Like, I was just like, yo, bro, I can't even get through the Halo 3 cinema.
Yeah.
That's how bad Master Chief Collection was at launch. People went to buy an Xbox One for this game. It was like, I am done. That was really the nail in the coffin for a lot of people. I know the We Trade Games. That was the death blow. That was Kendrick Drake.
Man, in all fairness, Xbox had amazing games coming out of that generation. Like, there was a makeup there that could have been done. I feel.
Bro, people were willing to say, okay, you know what? You started off bad. You did the trade. You had to reverse the policies. Bro, they making Halo, all the games that never had multiplayer, 1080, 60 in a suite. And they remember they showed it off. And then you could go from good mode to bad mode. I mean, the old graphics to new graphics. Bro, it was a monumental, like, I think it was like an E3 or whatever it was where they showed it. Slam dunk. I remember like it was yesterday, Matty. I had people who had left Xbox for PlayStation, was like, all right, Carl, that Master Chief, I ain't gonna hold you. What? How much? When does it drop? They were like, let me know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got you. When that joint came out, bro, you want to talk about a public relations disaster? So to me, I have to assume, because of such technical lift on the network and in the backward and the infrastructure, they don't even want to play with that on any other platform. So I think that's going to stay there, and unfortunately, so that's where I'm going with it. This is they're all over the place, you know, as far as the Halo Studios and how they're handling things.
I would say at this point, I'd be very disappointed if Halo Combat Evolve Remake didn't come to PlayStation. I'd be like, what are you guys doing? Like the whole,
that would be silly.
Like, you just can't at this point. You already pulled the Band-Aid off Gears, Forza. Like, you can't just be like, oh, but we're going to keep Halo. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, you're just defeating your own, the whole point of your strategy. And I think, especially just from the angle of like getting people involved, it's like, okay, you're going to nickel and dime just like Gears, 2 reloaded, 3 reloaded, no doubt. It's like, okay. So 1 remake, 2 remake, 3 remake, I'm guessing. Like, I feel like that's just the only way you can go. Yeah, like, why would you give us them all? When that would be just too pro-consumer, I suppose. So I get it. And on Infinite, because you brought up tech lift, I feel like, I know you were talking about Master Chief Collection, but I feel like Infinite could be in that pocket of like, you're working with the proprietary engine, the P word that scares Xbox away.
Slip space.
They're just like, nope. So, that thing, nope. Xbox fans, that's all yours.
Yes, I agree.
And they're just relying on the Forge creators to just keep that game afloat. And I think that'll be that for the rest of its life cycle until Halo Combat Evolved Remake comes around.
I agree. Thus, the UE5 factor is so important for them for uniformity across for multi-platform development.
Especially if they've committed to that. Like, I'm imagining Ecker is Unreal.
Yeah.
I imagine Combat Evolved Remake is Unreal, and I'm not imagining. I mean, it is. And then Halo 7 Unreal, and so just bring if you have to like fine tune anything for the PS5 version of Infinite, I'm sure this just complicates things way more than it's required. And they're like, let's just hit the reset button on this.
Yep, I agree.
Let's do a new base. All right, that's the news for now. We'll get into some big ones in a little bit, but first, a little break and talking about what we're playing. Cog, what an interesting little lineup that you've got here. I opened my Steam page and I do see this Edge of Fate just pasted right along the top banner. Now available. What is this? What's going on in Destiny?
It's time to come back. And this was the announced expansion. Obviously, we know all the things that's going on with Bungie right now. This is critical. And let's just get this off the back. The changes here in this game are a lot of quality of life changes, a lot of things that other games have done that we've lamented Destiny to do. For example, like armor sets, weapon tiers. They've got world tiers now, almost like Diablo and certain things to increase loot and increase stuff. Now, I'm going to be real with you, Matty. Like, the thing to draw for me is always going to be what's going on in the universe in a post-final shape Destiny world. And narrative is what keeps me. I've been already 10 plus years invested in this damn game. Where are you going to go now to try to get players' interest? I ain't going front, man. When they showed this initial trailer reveal for Edge of Fate, I was just like, this feels mid. I don't like. They got this. You got to look at the main character. The main NPC looks so out of place. He's just this regular dude with glasses in this world called Kepler. And I'm just like, all right, why are we here? And now they are flirting with this thing called the Nine. And the Nine has been in the lore of Destiny for a long time. They've been in the background, these entities. We just don't know enough about them. We just knew they had an emissary. So the story starts off with the emissary is no longer, quit her job. I'm not an emissary no more. And she's going back to be a guardian. And then you go into this place to investigate this anomaly. Now, the thing that they have in the game, which is this unique feature, is kind of like this Metroid... Which, when Metroid rolls into a ball?
Yeah, the morph ball.
So, they got the morph ball thing, and it's just a mechanic, and okay, all right. I just got to feel like, coming into this, I'm just like, man, I don't have, for the first time, I have low enthusiasm for a Destiny expansion. Never have. Now, I will say this. The narrative is actually surprisingly getting better. I'm like, okay, this is actually, and I've spoken to people who actually have beaten it, and they're like, oh no, this narrative is actually dope. I know it looks weird, I know it sounds, goofy looking at first. Stick with it. It's some stuff that goes down. I'm like, all right, cool. And it is heating, but this is where I'm ultimately getting at. We know the state of Bungie right now. We know how dire it is. We know what's coming off the plagiarism scandal. We know what's going on with Marathon. We know what Sony said.
Sure.
This is what I knew it hit. Shout out to my man E, because he hit me. Even Lightfall, which was considered terrible from a, critically acclaimed standpoint, right? I told you that the GOATs are Witch Queen, obviously taken care from way back for Destiny 1. But for Destiny 2, it's Forsaken was good, but it didn't sell as much, and Activision got mad. But it was critically acclaimed. But as far as player count and as far as what actually killed it, Witch Queen, Lightfall, Final Shape, 300K active users, Steam charts, ready to go on launch, Destiny all the way back. Bro, Edge of Fate didn't even crack 100K. That's 2/3 of your player base said, nah, I'm good. I don't know what Sony going to do. So yeah, I'm a little. And what's crazy is the narrative is actually good. The quality of life is actually
funny because I clicked on this Steam page and then it brought me to the DLC, and the reviews were mixed on Steam.
Yeah,
I got to read you the first paragraph of this review I saw because it's so funny.
Review looking like.
I genuinely would have had more fun and fulfillment drenching a pile of money in gasoline and igniting it than playing this story for this expansion. It is that dreadful and boring. The story branches off several times over lengthy side quests to account for the fact that there's no real narrative. And even if there would have been truly awful considering the writing this time around, Curse of Osiris is often regarded as the worst expansion in Destiny 2 history. But in Bungie's constant attempts to innovate and outdo themselves, this completely blows that out of the water for almost triple the price.
Damn. Dudes ain't ready to spend that 40? Oh, man. Yeah, it's definitely mixed. It's definitely mixed.
There's like below that, this update's truly impressive. Like, you know, I know the overwhelming community is mad to me, but to me, this is kind of fire. This feels like I can easily pick the game back up and prepare for bigger and badder content, which to me is a win-win. But the community, I can see why they're mad. In my opinion, this is my opinion, but this could theoretically get better over time.
Yeah. I mean, look, from my experience, the actual destination I felt was kind of drab. The actual main NPC that you would interact with to see what's going on, I felt was kind of eh. But as I kept going, I'm like, yo, this narrative is actually good. And then, like I said, the character, the quality of life, and all the stuff they've added is decent. Now, you know, obviously the raid, what's also going to determine the raid, how good the raid is, which will be, I think, on Friday, whatever. And World First is big for them because they get a ton of Twitch views, ton of people tune in for World First raid race. That's a huge thing. But I will admit, Matty, like, they didn't crack 100K. Yeah, so this seems like, I don't want irreparable damage to a Destiny expansion, bro.
I didn't even know one was coming out, to be truthful with you. I know I'm not fully tapped in, so I understand that. But I didn't know. Like, you're saying this isn't just like a little kind of fling DLC. This is an expansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that was on the way. So I feel like their ability to get it out there as well, like, was not nearly as good as it usually is.
Yeah. I just felt that what hurt them is, like I said, all the scandals, all the issues. And then I just felt, again, they're suffering right now from what I consider like the Marvel MCU Avengers Endgame fatigue. You done did the greatest story in the history. Now, what are you going to do to truly get us interested? And for now, what I'm hearing, though, at the end of this is setting up the next things. And people are like, yo, I'm excited. But people I think have kind of tapped out. And are they willing to go through this, you know, watch the Disney Plus or the Paramount, you know what I mean? To get, you know how that goes. So that's where it is. I just want to be honest about it. I'm going to continue. I'll give you my full review once I finish the campaign. I'm having a good time with it as far as the gameplay itself. But I got to be honest. Like, I was shocked to see what's going on here. And the second thing is, as you can see behind me, as we talked earlier, I caved. I picked me up that Quest Xbox edition, and man, very impressed. Phenomenal job by both teams, because the thing that I like about it is that obviously you get it. You got your premium experience. You got your Xbox controller. You have the matte black, which looks clear. Obviously, it's the 3S, not the 3, but it's the 3S. And I will say this, for glasses wearers, I would highly recommend, shout out to, I'm gonna give them some promo, Real Optics. They have these little magnetic things that if you wear a prescription, you don't want to put your glasses on, because I have to admit, glasses in VR is still not ideal.
Not there. Yeah.
It's just not ideal. You know what I'm saying? So you get your little Real Optics joints. They're about $60. You send them, you upload your prescription joint to them. I got there about maybe $60. Bro, night and day. You know what I'm saying? And I will say now, first thing I did was straight to the Xbox app, this full integration. Your controller's already paired to the device already. Started it up. Shout out to the new section, which is kind of it's called games you own or something like that. And I saw Final Fantasy 16 just sitting right on there.
Well, there you go.
With Xbox Play Anywhere. So I fired that bad boy up. Bro, I have to admit, I couldn't tell the lag. It was barely perceivable. Now, granted, if I go off of that and I go play the local, I'll probably notice it at that point. But legit, I could not tell. I did combat. I was doing combos. I was doing quest missions. And shout out to the cloud system. Immediately when I booted up, I was right where I was at when I was at the console on the quest. Very impressive. And again, it's me manipulating. It's like, imagine me having a 100-inch flat screen that I can move anywhere in my house. Wow, that's the screen space in the real estate. There, what's also dope, if you want the enclosed experience, you'll see like the little Xbox logo. It's like dark, you're in a movie theater. Cool. It's super cool. Yeah. And then, but if you want to be, hey, I need to know where Rufus is at. I need to know where, bro. Put that, you tap the button, put that color pass through in, and you see the whole room, so you're aware of your surroundings. The streaming is great. I have to admit, now the negative, I wanted to put it through the test of a true latency, like a Tekken, like a fighting game. Tekken ain't on the list because Tekken ain't Xbox Play Anywhere. So Xbox Play Anywhere is going to... Yeah, bro. Like, that's going to have to be an initiative. I look like the new games will be, but I did notice that. So I had to use Mortal Kombat, which is up there. Mortal Kombat, what you call it, 1, which surprisingly played very well. So my experience is great. Xbox button, you got your friend list, you got everything. And then shout out on the Horizon side, you have your, they have their subscription. They give you 3 months of Game Pass, 3 months for their service. Yeah. And you got the plethora of games. Obviously, the Batman. I jumped straight into that. Asgard's Wrath, straight jump into that. So no, this is a fantastic. If you have not done VR and you're like, all right, I'm curious, and you're an Xbox dude, you got to get this. This is the one to get. Like, there's no question. It is so on board friendly. And then for people who don't, hey, bro, I don't want to, they got the sit down mode. Just put the sit down and put the boundary right around you. Everything's recognized. You don't even have to get up. So I was sitting down playing the majority of my journey. I wasn't really doing all the physical stuff for most of the games. But it's a very good device, very good collaboration. And limited, if you can't find it, pro tip, Best Buy is the savior. Because Meta is sold out. You go to Meta, it's a wrap. But if you go to Best Buy, you got a shot over there getting the Xbox Quest S3. I said, yeah, man, it's my memento. So I had to do it.
Of course.
Yeah, some project I worked on.
It's a wonderful device too. Like I love my Meta Quest, so I'm excited. I've been piling up the VR games. Do you know if Deadpool's coming out this year? Because that's one I do want to play as well.
Deadpool was looking. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah, Deadpool. Look, what's up?
They got a lot of good software there where I feel like I could just really cruise into that for a while.
Asgard's Wrath. Yeah. Assassin's Creed.
AC I played. That's
you got Red Matter, and I would
Red Matter. I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, it's a little space station joint. It's crazy. If you want to see what VR could do and push your joint, Red Matter 2. It's called the second one. You don't even need to play the first one. It's not that. Like, Red Matter 2 is what you need to play.
What kind of game is it? Is it like?
So it's kind of like it's I wouldn't say it's like full questing. It's more of a exploration mystery kind of game, and you're trying to figure out what happened, but it's fully interactable. There's deep lore. You're reading stuff. Like, you would like it because I know you like to try to find out what's going to get your notes and your lore. You're figuring out what's happening on this kind of quote unquote abandoned station. I wouldn't say it's horror or anything like that. It's not like super action heavy, but it's thought provoking, and it really pushes VR in a cool way. If you like any type of Sim or Civilization, if you're like a Sim City kind of guy, there's this game called Little Cities that's amazing. Oh my god, it's like they put Sim City in VR, and that's sick. And obviously, you know how hard I go for DBO, so that's a must right there. So man, there's a ton of games I could put people on to if you're just getting it in. Add me. I'm still at Lord Cognito on what you call it, Quest as well. Add your boy.
Right on. It's an interesting little lineup you got here. For me, man, I'm sorry, everyone. It is the same old. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to fight out of my Groundhog's Day syndrome, but it is more Last Defense Academy. But I'll repeat a lot of what I talked about on Summon Sign again, in case people don't listen to the show, and I know you weren't there, but there was a point I was like fighting with the game a little bit. But there's 2 things. Number one, this game is so fire that I just can't. It is extremely long in the tooth. There is no need for it to be as I'm 100+ hours in. I did not buy when I bought this game and played it and chose it over Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I remember saying to Locke, I said, yo, I'm doing this because I really don't want to do the 100-hour epic right now. Joke's on you, pal. Holy shit, man. I got my money's worth. Support KCD2 probably could have been done by this point. But yeah, at first I was fighting with the length because the first scenario was great. Then I went and got choice and consequence time. All right, this is where the story really diverges. As I documented, I get on that romance route. I'm like, oh,
we romancing now.
Yeah, no, I romanced. Okay. I denied everybody on my first go through, might I add, before I got the endings right. By the way, hilarious route. I got to give them props. Hilarious route, but definitely was a dagger to my playthrough. I was 30 hours in, going strong. I hit the romance route, and it stopped me in my tracks. A bunch of other games took me away, and then myself and Jason Polanski started talking about the game, and I was like, all right, I'm he kind of convinced me. He's push through. He's like, get through it. There's more for you.
Mhm.
I'm glad he did, because I was like, I wasn't ready to give up on my goat, but I was definitely ready to pace my goat is what I was ready to do. So I ended up pushing through in North Carolina. Once I finished Death Stranding 1, I pushed through, I finished that romance route, and it had some funny endings where I was like, okay, cool. Then I really get into the main meat of the game. And I'm at the point now where there's a route that it is the only route in the game that has like story locks, like certain choices you have to make to unlock this one route, which is no doubt like the ideal ending. He says there's no true ending, but this is like probably as close as you'll get them. It's the only one with barriers and locks on it. So I've been working toward that. And there have been some magnificent stories in here. I've done, for those who are playing the game, about to speak a different language, sorry, Cog. It's the Box of Calamity route I did.
There we go.
Excellent. The slasher route. Excellent. I'm doing the mystery route. Also excellent. I didn't have to do this one, but the coming of age route. Wonderful. Like all of these, it's really, what happens is at first you go, man, like you're really going to do a whole story about this, but you realize how expansive this universe is, and it's impressive. It's such, as a writer myself, I find it deeply impressive how far he has stretched this game. And I know that sounds like usually like it's way too long, and at times it really is. But I find it so impressive how much he has got out of these characters, this world, the lore he has built alongside his team. It is like deeply impressive. I'm like, this is like an achievement in a lot of ways to get this much content. It comes with speed bumps though, no doubt. Not just in pacing, but like the combat in the game is great. It's actually one of the things I liked about it the most. But I've only fought once in maybe the last 30 hours. It is because what happens is you get to fights, and in respect of your pacing, it's like a double-edged sword. In respect of me as a player, they're like, you've done this fight before and maybe a different route. Do you want to skip this? And it's like, yeah, my answer is always going to be yes. But it's not like I'm saying yes because I'm like, get on with it. I'm saying yes because I've done it before. If you gave me more new fights, but they're not doing that. So I'm just getting tons of fights to skip. So it's turned into a full visual novel. And it's removed, unfortunately, an element of it's like the double-edged sword of what the game wants to be. It wants to have 100 endings. It wants to have all of this story content. It wants to, and you start to learn what I didn't realize is they intersect more than I realized. Like when someone disappears from one storyline, you're like, got you, Kodaka. That's a plot hole. No, that motherfucker's over in this route, and that's why they're acting funky. And you don't, and if you, it's like a dangerous game because I respect what they did. Because what it means is you can have my experience where I jump in, I go to the romance round, I'm like, this is like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, or I don't get it. But then as I started to piece together this universe, again, I just find it deeply impressive how much he's really gotten out of it. So there's that part. Like anytime I start to fight with it a little bit, like it does, like it was last night. It was a great example. Like I'm so close to the end. The anticipation is really what's getting me, where I'm like, I'm almost there, man. Like 100+ hours.
Feel it.
I'm almost there. And sometimes that does win me over a little bit where I'm like, okay, I just want to go. I just want to go.
Power
like
through.
the antsiness gets me, right? I just want to get through. But then, like things that you'd enjoy more, you become less patient with. But this game just manages to suck me back in. Like, I'm like, okay, I got to start another round. And you start tabbing through the dialogue. You're like, oh my God. But all of a sudden there's something that happens. You're like, wait, what's going on here? Like, why is that person dead? Oh, I gotta learn more. And you go. And it keeps hooking me back in. So there's that element. The other thing I'm appreciating about it is just as a fan, right? Danganronpa was an incredible stretch of my gaming career. Danganronpa 1 through V3, right? You had 2014 to 2017.
Your baby.
And yeah, adore this series so much. From that point, Kodaka went rogue. He went and made a bunch of non-Danganronpa style games, which is his prerogative as a creator, and I welcomed it. I supported it. He was in that GOAT status where I was like, hey, like I was a follower. I was a disciple of Kodaka.
I got you.
I was like, bro, whatever you're making, I'm there. He comes out with World's End Club. I'm like, okay, God, that was not it. So he goes on this experiment, right? Because he's running out of money, so he makes shitty ass Tribe 9. But in between, he's got some games, right? He's got like Rain Code. I talked about Rain Code on the show when I actually moved into this house. So it was 2023. And it was close. It was a Danganronpa style game, but more 3D, but less personalization of the murder mystery. Like you were investigating the death of random people. And it's like, no, this is not like the murder mystery hooks me in because I'm attached to a character. I know a character, or a character was posed to me as important. And that's why I want to get to know them, and why when they die, I'm like, oh, what happened? Just like what's happening with like 100 Line. So I felt a little bit like, you flew close to the sun, but you still seem you want to go left. And I'm telling you, Kodaka, go back to it. I've been saying it for years. I'm like, go back. Like, just go make a Danganronpa style game. And that's why I'm really, it's a long journey, and it's been a bumpy road at times, but I'm enjoying it because, you know, man, I've been asking for this for like 8 years now. It's like, I'm just happy it's here. I'm happy I've been able to really park and sit with it. I've said many times, like, hey, as a reviewer, I don't get the chance to just sit with one game for a while. And this has been like a very nice process, is what I've learned.
Nice.
You know, in those bumps in the road, I kind of pull myself back to earth. I'm like, dude, wait, like, this is what I wanted in every sense. I think what's happening is it's broken the norm for me so much that I feel a little crazy playing the same thing for like 2 months straight. Granted, again, I had it broken up with like Death Stranding 1, beating that, and Doom the Dark Ages, an Expedition, going back to that. Like, things broke it up, no doubt. I would have been done with it last month if I just had kept going with it. But I'm still in this mindset of like, wow, I've been really with this for a long time, and it's become a journey. And I knew I cared when I got to one of the route's endings that I needed to unlock this, you know, final route, we'll call it. Oh, it got me a little emotional. Didn't cry, but like, it was a really strong message. And I was like, and I was again impressed. I went, wow, this game just like keeps on giving right now. So unfortunate part is, it's like a game that I can't recommend unless you were a very specific fan.
Right.
Like, if it had the combat that it had in the early parts of the game and the way it was paced and stuff, I'd be like, Cog, I know you've got your thoughts, but you might want to look into this. But as like the writing got more into its crazy bag and the character design got more wild and it started to drop the combat, I was like, this is for Kodaka fans, man. Like, this is like, you know, his style of game. This is what you get out of him. And it's unique. He is my Kojima in a lot of ways. Like, Kojima goes left. He does his thing. He's really wild. And you kind of get what you get with that. You get all the good and the bad with it. You get to personally know this person's brain, is how I would define it. And there's very few creators who can really, like, I can't even say I understand how Todd Howard's brain works with all of the games I played from him. But like, because like, there's so many pieces of that pie that go into a AAA game. But in a case like Kodaka, it's like a small team. He's the writer, he's the director, like, he's on top of it. Like, you're in his headspace when you're playing these games. And this is an erratic motherfucker. Like, he'll just go left, right, up, down, like whatever he wants in that moment. He'll just take you on that ride and make sense of it. Okay. So yeah, it's been a good ride. I really was hoping by Donkey Kong Bonanza I'd be done, but that might even feel optimistic. I'm going out to dinner tonight with my family, so I don't know if, like, once I get back and everything, if I'll have time to finish it. I think I will finish the mystery route today, but I still got, after that, I got that final route. So it's going to be by this weekend, I'm hoping. But I've been fighting, scratching, clawing my way through this game. It has been a long journey. I am glad it's a Switch game because the handheld has been clutch. This has been in bed with me every night. Nice. But yeah, it has been a long journey. I did not know I'd be with the game for so long. But
how many? 100 hours?
100 plus hours.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And Jason said you're making like you're close, like 80%, 90%.
Well, Jason and I are at the same point now. When Jason was playing and I was stopping, I was like 30 hours in, 35 hours in. I think he was a little bit ahead of me. But I've just been powering through. This game has like consumed me. We're just like, we've been just texting each other updates, screenshots, all that. Yeah, it's been awesome. I love talking to Jason. That's dope. But yeah, it's been awesome just like sharing that journey with someone who also like gets it, you know? Like, my wife gets it because she played the first Danganronpa, but she dropped the second one. I'm like, girl, do you want this relationship to work? What are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? Pick it back up. But it's nice to have someone who like loves Kodaka enough to go deep into the weeds like I'm going. Like, I have friends in my group who are like, they love Kodaka, but they're like, yeah, he kind of fell off. I'm like, no, man, like, I got no one in my army. I'm the one-man army. But then Jason Polanski showed up. So I'm very, very thankful for his friendship because, you know, we just shoot the shit about games and we've been talking a lot of Last Defense Academy. It's been really cool to share that. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I know I've been a boring listen in this segment for a while. Like, let me guess, it's more visual novel shit for Matty. But I'm hoping that, you know, hoping come next week I got something new to share with everyone.
You're fine. I actually like it. Because it's completely engrossed you. You're seeing it through.
Yeah.
And we'll have those moments like that where it's just that game. It's just that's what you want to play. That's the pocket.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the thing through. So yeah,
it just shows how, because like even when I had way more free time, like when I played Persona 5 Royal, that was like a 130-hour game. That still took me a month to beat. So I was wondering, I'm like, is this taking me so long because of my schedule? I'm like, you kind of add like with all the things I've been reviewing and whatnot mixed in. I'm like, no, I kept pretty good pace with this one. It's just that like, it's so long. It sneaks up on you every time. So if you're looking for a really good visual novel game with some occasional fun turn-based combat, 100 Line is your game. And there's nothing quite written like this game. I'll tell you that. It breaks the fourth wall when it feels like.
Oh, you on that again.
Oh, bro, they made a, I was saying this also on Summon Time, but you'll appreciate this more because you've watched wrestling growing up and whatnot. There's a wrestling character in this game. Her name's Moko. And she something tragic happened, right? So like a character dies and everyone's like, oh my God, what's happening? And she says something along the lines of, this makes me more sad than the time Edge and Christian broke up. And yeah, exactly. I had that look on my face. I went, did you just say that? But that's the type of writing he's known for, is just they snap that fourth wall and they let the people who obviously localize and translate go fucking crazy with it and just bring a whole new level of wild to his writing. I mean, just crazy shit is said. But that was one that like made me raise my eyebrow. I went, they made a WWE reference here.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They reference their own material. Like they reference Monokuma. Like there's a all, how like Danganronpa, like the art changes when the dialogue line changes. They have one with Sire where like he like shoots out like a bunch of party balloons and you literally see like Monokuma's face as like they don't give a fuck, bro. I'm just like, this feels like I'm playing a fan game.
Yes.
That's what it feels like. But yeah, just great game. I could go on, but I'll spare everyone. Time to get into the rest of the news. Number one, it has been claimed by insider and reporter Jez Corden of Windows Central Gaming on the Xbox 2 podcast that Fallout 5 has been greenlit. That means there's two twists here. For starters, Jez also says this came as a trade-off, that being Blackbird, Zenimax Online Studios' former MMO project, would have to be shut down to ramp up Fallout projects, which we talked a bit about last week. The other twist, and I'll dive very deep into this, is more in the weeds. It was just in 2021 that Todd Howard confirmed Fallout 5 would be Bethesda Game Studios' next title after Elder Scrolls 6. By that old timeline, we're looking at an early 2030 release at best from Bethesda Game Studios. For Xbox to greenlight Fallout 5 now might suggest that someone else is heading up the next mainline entry of the Fallout franchise, which would be a pretty massive shakeup for the series moving forward. Naturally, many minds turn to Obsidian Entertainment, but that may not be the case if Chris Avellone, formerly of Obsidian, is to be believed. Avellone has claimed on his personal Twitter account that if a new Fallout game is in the works, it is not at Obsidian, as he is familiar with their upcoming schedule. Okay. So, Cog, got so many thoughts on this one, brother. It's funny.
Let's go.
A lot of people came to me and they're like, this isn't big news. And I'm not one to get combative with the audience, but I'm like, you don't know what you just said. Like that, and I'm just being transparent because if you don't think this is big news, you don't understand what's happening. That's the admission. And that's okay because I'm weirdly obsessed with Bethesda. So only I feel like myself and some others who track it so closely for 10 years would notice something like this. Yep. You got to understand two things here.
Break it down.
Number one, for Todd to lay out the roadmap and pretty much say we're going to get to Fallout 5 by 2030 and Fallout to Xbox to greenlight something now. Yes, it's still late in what we expected from Xbox, but for them to greenlight it now likely suggests Bethesda Game Studios not involved. That's a huge change unto itself. That's the overreaching that we talked about early in the Xbox lifecycle that we were like, certainly Xbox is going to do this, that they took years to actually do. Bethesda Game Studios is not big enough to do full production on Elder Scrolls 6, greenlight a Fallout 5, and do Starfield DLC.
Starfield, yeah.
It's just not possible. That means it is probably someone else, or I've floated this idea out here. I could see a world, but 76 is just feeling like it's picking up a lot of steam. I did say, though, there's a world where 76 and a lot of its support work is offloaded to more support studios like Double 11, like they're doing now. And that 76 team goes and works on Fallout 5, which
Xbox. God help us all. Xbox. God help the video Matty gonna put out.
I will give them all of my good energy. I will give them all, but I will not give you my faith. Like, I don't know how else to put it. That's how that's sincerely where I'm at. Like, 76 is gradually won me over.
Yes.
But man, like, you're still not traditional Fallout. Like, you have not been making traditional Fallout for, when did that game come out? Like 2018. So it's like, what, 7 years now? Like, you haven't really been. So I'm worried about the way your brain is trained to think about Fallout with recurrent content and that sort of shit. Okay. That aside, that's really the big shakeup here. Xbox is getting involved on a bigger level. They're greenlighting these projects. We talked last week about multiple projects being greenlit. But this is sort of an overstepping that is pretty new and changes how Bethesda game studios might think about their other IP, namely Elder Scrolls is another one. We know Zenimax Online Studio is working with that, but like, if this is how Xbox is going to handle things moving forward, it does seem like there's a little bit of, even for someone like potentially Todd, if my speculation is correct, kind of like, yo, get in line. The other change here, everyone, whether you liked it or not, knew the safe answer was Obsidian Entertainment. It made complete sense from a talent perspective, which again, when people come to me and they're like, I can't believe you still believe in Obsidian, they're mid-studio now. It's not even a personal opinion, because most times people come to me and they're like, they're not the same team anymore. I'm like, okay, so you're against the Obsidian Entertainment, who still has the lead writer of Fallout New Vegas, the director of Fallout New Vegas, and the same CEO of the company who was there when they made New Vegas, who's been there since the beginning. Okay, I'm not following. I'm just not following. Those leaders have been the same for a long time. Same communications team. Like, it's been the same there for a while. Now, I'm not fooling myself that after Avowed, I was rattled a little bit, and that I'm on, thin ice is a really strong term. I'm on uncharted waters with Obsidian, where I'm heading into an RPG where I'm like, this looks great, but I have that air of doubt deep within me of like, I hope this isn't like Avowed again.
Fair.
But again, going back to the starting point, Obsidian is the easy answer for that. Their leadership's been there for a while. Their leadership's worked with the property before, and they happen to be making a spacefaring RPG with first-person, third-person shooting and a skill system and skill checking and a radio system that happens to be coming out this year, and they happen to be free at the end of this year. So a green light would make sense to me. So for someone like Avalon, if we put stock into his words, to come out and be like, I know their lineup, that's not there. There's two ways you look at it, right? There's number one, which is like, he's talking on his ass. He doesn't know. I don't take Avalon to be that type of guy. So you put stock into his words. It's like, okay, if it's not Obsidian, who is it? That's a massive change unto itself. Obsidian was, again, the very safe, easy, and frankly, to me, obvious choice. It just made sense in so many fucking ways. So you take them out of the picture. I'm like, who is it then? That's why when people come to me, they're like, this is not a big deal. I'm like, this is, when you have multiple projects greenlit, that's a big deal. And now even the safe bet studio is not there. Does that mean Xbox is, as we talked about when they first bought Bethesda, are they starting up the Vault studio? Anyone speculated like a dedicated Fallout team? You did Halo Studios. I almost look at that as like a parallel potentially. And that would scare me too after what happened with the initiative. Like, I got to be real honest with people.
That's real.
Like, I know there's excitement, but that would be a very like dampened excitement for me. I talked about InXile. I was like, you know, you got Brian Fargo there. You got all that Wasteland tech there. You know, come on now. That makes a lot. That almost makes more sense to me than Obsidian. Fallout's a big enough brand now where you can go back to that classic, more isometric style and make a more hardcore role-playing game than the mainline franchise has seen in a while. And people will show up. And I think if Baldur's Gate 3 is anything to go by, they'll show up in mass. And I think that'd be a really cool story for Brian Fargo, who's like one of the most underrated minds in our industry, to just like an absolute legend. Wasteland, Fallout, you know, and then to come back full circle and work on Fallout again. Tremendous. Like, that makes too much sense. But this is Xbox we're talking about. And they just, I'm really keeping it serious because I know I talk like this and sometimes it's funny, but like, they've shown me they're not great at identifying talent. So it's like, if the obvious choice is there and they're not taking it, what are they doing? And I'm like, new studio, maybe. or if you're handing it out, it's like, who are you handing it out to? So I came up with a couple of. I came up with a couple. I came up with
the whiteboard. Let's go.
I was like, the 76 team kind of makes sense but I'm like, do you really want to stop a live product that's making money? Given what happened with ESO, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying you stop one for the other, but you slow down support for something that's making you money. That sounds like not what Xbox wants to do. So I'm like, okay, kind of maybe could make sense. Keep it in-house, creation engine, Fallout assets are there. Like, there's a lot of ways this could chalk up to happening over there. Then I looked at Larian. Larian is the most idealistic, but Larian also went on record of saying when they were looking for a new project and they landed on Baldur's Gate, it was Baldur's Gate, Fallout, and Ultima that they wanted to work on. Now, since working on Baldur's Gate 3, they have been very honest, despite their success, that working on someone else's IP was difficult. Wizards of the Coast was a little bit tough. And now you have to look at what's happening with Microsoft. And I do wonder with, Swenvink's Game of the Year speech.
He's been outside. And
I do wonder how you would feel about working with Microsoft. And I think that is a fair counterpoint where as great as that would be, as perfect as that would be, and that would be the best Fallout game of all time. Don't kid yourself. Like, I say this as someone who's Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I know if Larian got a hold of Fallout, it'd be over for me, bro. Over. But I don't know. It's tough to imagine with the kind of things they've said and the standards they've established. And you got that, their bank account's wild now. Like they can talk their talks. They're good. So I don't know if they really need to or want to. And so I'm kind of left with like other teams like Virtuos. I'm like, well, Virtuos is working on a Fallout remaster. Right. You build those pieces, you take those pieces and build something out of that. But if Fallout 5's been greenlit now, the biggest change of them all that I want to get across people's heads is that the next mainline entry might not come from Bethesda. And if you are treating that as insignificant, you are missing the whole point again. It is not a little whatever news bite that the team that shepherded this franchise into its fame, whether you like it or not, Fallout 3 and on, they put Fallout on the map with the Fallout TV show. They have helped this series grow and grow. They've been there through the highs and the lows, to be fair. They've helped this thing grow and grow, and they might not be working on that next one. For a lot of people, this is cause for celebration. People don't like how Emil Pagliarulo writes the games. He's responsible for a lot of that stuff and designs the games. He's responsible for a lot of that stuff. You get him out of the picture. Some people think Todd's lost it. Get him out of the picture. We're seeing Indiana Jones, like Todd's a great supervisor. He's a good camp counselor.
Okay. I see what we're doing.
So that's why I'm like, again, people are like, not a big deal. I'm like, this is the thing many of you were asking for. It might not be Bethesda who makes another mainline game. Like that's huge. So I'm keen because Jez has been dropping all these little tidbits. I feel like he's got to have a report coming out soon, but I don't know. I haven't asked him about it. But I needed to, before I pass it to you, I wanted to really emphasize to me at least, the series. Like, of course I'm a fan, so it's amplified. I think that goes without saying, but nonetheless, the seriousness of the conversation, like this is one of their most valuable IP with clearly one of their, again, whether you like them or not, one of their most valuable studios at Bethesda Game Studios, like makes them money, lots of money at that. Bethesda's, I don't think people understand for all the yapping that's online, I don't think people understand the average player count that Bethesda sees monthly, where there's a reason why they keep trucking on the way they do. They have an insane audience, even in Starfield. Insane. It runs deep for them, man. So for that company with that history, that power, that player base to potentially not be working on and maybe just shepherding, co-developing Fallout 5, because you can't do, again, 76 support. You can't do Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield DLC and a full-on Fallout 5 at the same time. It's got to be somewhere else probably. So it's a big deal in my eyes. And it'll be the first time we see a mainline Fallout game like that since New Vegas. And for many people, that brought about the best Fallout game. So when I saw people like, this is nothing burger, what are you talking about? This is not like we're talking New Vegas 2 or we're talking about Fallout Tactics or Brotherhood of Steel. We're talking about 5. Yeah. 5. Yeah. So I thought it was massive news. I'm curious what you think about it, Cog. How did you take to this? And how are you feeling about how Xbox is orienting things. Because again, even if it's getting a green light, it's not even started production. So depending on where it is, I mean, we're still talking 4 or 5 years out.
Yeah, we're
still
like
ways out. We're lucky if we get this before 2030.
Right. So we this is like a one pager or a concept on what Fallout 5 is going to be in the premise. At first, I'll be honest. At first, I was like, but you're right, because I thought about it more, and I was like, yeah, the time. Well, we used to do Xbox 2 crossovers, and we had the joke with Ran with you would be like, how long are you gonna wait to get a Fallout game? That was his running gag on you. He'd be like, you got to make 2040 something when you get the next Fallout game after that.
I think he said 2032. And at first I went no, and then it became yes.
Right? That was the joke. We like, man, because we knew the timeline. We're like, Starfield, that's something they wanted to do beforehand. And then the cadence is always, the Elder Scrolls. And then boom, Fallout after. So Fallout was going to have to wait. And the conversations we'd always have is how can they allow Fallout to wait so long and miss, a generation and the platform and so on and so forth. Then we have the show. So we know what that is, right? So now we fast forward to where we are. And I'm going to be real with you too, man. Like, I go hard for the Black Rock. Like the way you go for Bethesda, I go for like Obsidian crazy. So but my gut always told me, as much as they were trying to speak it into existence, I've always felt Todd ain't gonna do that. I've always felt
it's a fresh relationship.
Yeah, like he's not sharing that. We're cool. It's good that we all live together. That's mine. And I'm shepherding. And I just, and when I look at the examples of him supervising, but that's still in-house with Machine Games. That's one of theirs. Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? And I could see that thing. But the problem is my guess was like, okay, who's available from the Bethesda studio family that will be capable of doing a Fallout game that Todd would be comfortable, overseeing that. And it's like, that's the
Fallout fan base is very protective because it's like there's only a handful of directors we imagine. And I don't say this with disrespect to whoever is directing it, but if it's something like Joe Schmo, like, oh, I've never heard of this guy before.
Yeah. And
it's gonna be a huge make or break moment for that individual. And I hope they know that.
Absolutely. And I just don't see Todd as a guy. To me, the sense I get from him, my interactions with him, him better than me. But my interactions with he loves what he loves, and he loves hard. And Fallout to me is one of his children. I can't just see him just running around, just letting anybody co-parent. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be thought. It's got to be depth. So now we get back to who the candidates are. And I'm with you. Like the 76 thing, I don't see it. Right. So then we get back to where Xbox is currently, with their situation and how they're prioritizing things and how they try to make studios and try to, we have Halo Studios and obviously we had the initial in past tense, but it does make sense to have a dedicated Fallout studio or what, like you would call it, vault or whatever, and let Todd oversee it, and maybe you can get a couple of key pieces, right, that has worked on it, but you need to ramp up the resources to be able to do that in conjunction with key people to oversee it. So I'm going to lean towards no Obsidian, no 76, no Virtuos, because Virtuos to me, you're the port guys. I agree. You're Fallout 3 Remastered. We let you do that. You can't mess that up. There's already a blueprint. Knock yourself out. But to me, the candidates come down to new Fallout Studio or, Todd. But see, again, I'm looking at the Bethesda Studios family. Arkane Lyon, they're doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got to have someone with that pedigree. Like, it's got to be the studio. To me, it's got to be a Fallout studio. That's just where my head's at right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he gained the trust to give someone the keys where he supervises it like he did with Machine Games, but Fallout means so much. And then there's so many people in the building that worked on it. But like, or the other thing is, maybe we're not seeing, even though the Starfield news came out from Jez, maybe there is hey, one more. Maybe the plan is changing for the extent of how long you support Starfield at the way that they intended to. And maybe it's like, okay, we'll do one more and port this thing to PS5, and maybe that we could reallocate resources as well as get some more people in. That's like a long shot there, but we'll see, man. It's a tough one. I will say this. Overall, your point is correct, because the fact that the Fallout 5 thing is greenlit, it's a huge deal. We are supposed to be getting this way later in the timeline. So the fact that it's being prioritized, unfortunately, at the expense of Blackbird, well, I shouldn't even say that, because from my understanding, this was already greenlit. From my understanding, I was told that there's a conversation going around like Blackbird had to die so Fallout could live. The vibe I'm getting is that these were all they were already greenlit, right? People's like, no, don't try to make it seem like, it's that, but okay. So the vibe I'm getting is that, okay, now when Xbox comes in and they've been lashed by, leadership to say, hey, something has to get cut. It's like, okay, we look at all the portfolio and, okay, out of these projects, which one will we do? But the vibe I'm getting, it wasn't like Fallout. If there were no Fallout projects, then we cut Blackbird and now we're making Fallout projects. Like, no, those are still going on from what I was told. So, we'll see what comes out. But yeah, man, it's a big deal. Look, I'm happy regardless, because at the end of the day, Fallout needs to exist. Fallout needs to be in a consistent. That's one of the games that I am going to say, yes, you do need to go to the well on this one. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
It's too big. And the show proved it. The show proved you sitting on a gold mine and you wasn't even ready, because you got blindsided by how amazing this thing was, and now you got to be all the way. And I love the fact that it's multiple projects. So yeah, I'm gonna lean, gun to my head, Vault Studios, as Matty would say. I'm going to lead that there might be. And I know that it's scary.
It is, but I don't know. I don't want to totally paintbrush the whole thing. Like, okay, they fucked up with one studio horribly. How bad would the next be? But it definitely does not build any confidence whatsoever.
Of course. But what I will say is this.
They lured such all-star talent for the initiative too. So it's like, Xbox, I wouldn't blame them if they went this route. If they're like, what do we do? It's like, yeah, you have no problem courting great talent. That's never been really an issue for them, but like keeping them, nurturing them.
That's real. That's real. Everything you said is real. This is why I'm going to give you a little glimmer of hope.
Okay, give me a glimmer of hope.
The reason why I'm going to give you, if we were talking Xbox Game Studios family, I'm with you. I ain't got no confidence in the ones that they picked up and put together. I should say no confidence. That's too strong a word. But you know what I'm saying? As far if they try to build something new at the Xbox Game Studio family.
Oh, you're talking this is like an outside.
You got to look at Bethesda like, bro, we've been a publisher outside of you. Let's be real. Bethesda market's better than Xbox Game Studio. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
So they've been operating as a silo for a while. They know how to publish on multiple platforms. You got to look at them and Activision as separate pillars, separate silos that used to doing things on their own. The Xbox just comes by once in a while, right, to see what's going on. So what I'm trying to say is I still have more confidence, even though confidence is really low right now, and everyone, morale is bad. I'm not going to understate that. I'm not going to sugarcoat what just happened. But what I'm just saying for a glimmer of hope is Bethesda's way of running things, I have more confidence in if they are just given a little bit of an infusion to do what they need to do and go ahead, and they are overseeing, because one thing, this is what I believe, Todd is going to oversee this.
Yeah, Todd, hard to imagine a world where he just lets it go.
Yeah, like Todd, because I ran down on Todd. I was like, bro, I seen your foot hands all over that Indiana. You love, and he smiled. I was like, bro, you guys did a fantastic job. When that's undivided attention supervisor Todd Howard. Yes. I've got confidence in that. Yeah. As long as we don't find out that next week he leave.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But if he's of his right mind, if he is okay and he wants to still make games the way he told you when you interviewed him, fantastic interview, go watch it. It's amazing. Pinned on the channel was the greatest interviews from Todd Howard ever. Please watch that. So what I got from that man is I love what I love. I'm going to steward what I love. And if Vault Studios to be made, he's going to pick key talent and get the resources to do what he needs to do. And let's be honest, they're going to be in the driver's seat after what happened because no one's happy. So, you know what I'm saying? As far as, at Xbox, like you want to make this right with us. I think Todd's going to have leverage coming into a situation like this. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Could be a good place for some laid off Zenimax talent to land.
And you get those guys, exactly, give them home. That's what I see. It just makes more. It's not that the other things can't happen. But it's idealistic, true. But it's not, and not that the other things can't happen at all. But I think we if we had to rank, we wouldn't be confident with Virtuoso. We would be confident with the 76 team necessarily running. Not that they can't do a good job, and we've seen teams overperform and surprise us. But I feel Todd handpicked with a Vault Studio kind of energy would be the best thing. So we will see. But
I think it really depends what engine they want to use, because if you want to keep the Fallout look, I guess you stick with Creation.
Right.
But Bethesda has shown for the first time this year that you can get outdone visually by a support studio and be okay with that. And Oblivion Remastered is a beautiful looking game. I mean, I think the Bethesda's games looked amazing for their times, like what they were doing for that technology. But like, obviously we've progressed so much since then, and their games haven't really gone that far with it. But this game did. And it seemed like a little bit of a check from what we know of Todd, where we know we infer he's a little more protective, and so that is something that would make their games look more inferior. But it's like, this is what the fans want, and this is one thing I mentioned in a video. I was just like, this stuff is important because because that was the same week that Expedition came out. I made a whole video actually talking about it. Now that I think about it, it was like, we need more developers just giving us what we want. Yeah. It just seems very clear. We're at this crossroads. A lot of developers aren't doing that. So if that's a sign of Todd loosening up, I do wonder what it means for Fallout in that regard. I mean, a new studio would be interesting, but I'm just way less optimistic about it these days. And I think if you're Xbox and you want it done quickly, like, I could be looking at it wrong, but let's say you have the asset pool from Wasteland. Like, Wasteland literally is Fallout. It's the series that gave birth to Fallout. And like, I played Wasteland strictly because it was more Fallout. Like, that's what it is to many fans.
For sure.
Or to some people, Wasteland is the Fallout.
The Fallout, yeah. Some people feel that way.
But it's cool. They're brother and sister in my eyes. I do love Fallout more because of like the atmosphere and the music and whatnot. But I mean, Wasteland's phenomenal. It's like, you don't want to pull InXile off of Clockwork Revolution at all. The game looks amazing, but it's like, hey, you've got a Fallout game right there. Like, can you build something with that's Fallout? The answer would be yes. Like, they have the stuff there, the pieces there. It's not like a proprietary engine. So that's what I'm trying to look at it through, is the lens of like, what is the easiest lift? Like, what speaks to the natural talent of a team? Again, I know we're kind of giving up on the BlackRock, but I'm like, Obsidian makes so much sense for leadership, asset readiness. Actually, I should say asset, but like system readiness. Like, so much of the hard work is done. I'm just like, you're just reskinning the Outer Worlds.
With you. The problem is, this is the problem with the acquisition portion that I've been disappointed with the most, is that we have yet to see these dream collaborations underneath that banner. The only one who's doing stuff like that is actually Bethesda themselves within themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So that's why, as much you are speaking common sense. Common sense is Obsidian and InXile is right here. What's up? And unfortunately, our cool rich uncle who comes by every once in a couple of months doesn't seem to want to get the people, or doesn't want to bother and upset the apple cart and let them go because they signed here to be left alone. And even though you got Obsidian and Fergus saying, bro, I would love to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, again, so I, as much as it makes sense, I just have to look at the way the behavior patterns of Xbox game studios. That's just sadly what I have to go by. And I would love to be, bro, if we wake up and we see Obsidian and bro, I will sit there and say, apologies, Matt Booty, apologies, whomever, right? But right now, y'all on notice, because I don't believe y'all gonna do that. I believe y'all gonna play it safe and not bother anyone and not upset the apple cart and let them do them and do them. You literally got the damn stewards right there. Get them in the room. This is where we need the Shuhei energy. Get people in the room. Bro, this needs to happen. Here's your timeline. Here's your timeline. What can we do to get this? Fallout is too important a franchise. And y'all like money. We do know y'all like money, right? We know it's a money-driven thing right now. The key person in all of this, to me, is Todd. It's you got to bend the knee to Todd, or how Todd wanted to do those. So that's the where the buck's going to stop.
That's a powerful man right there.
Oh, facts. Todd is, man, listen. Yeah, that performance bonus and all that next quarter we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see what he going to have receipts. He going to have data. Yeah, play around if you want, because you don't want that announcement to leave.
I love the idea of Todd being this evil villain at Microsoft and just fucking checking them like this.
You let Pete walk out the door. You let Matt Fiora play with Todd if you want. Play with Todd. All right.
Now you mentioned it, he does have all the chips if he wants to play that game of like, I'm your last bastion of hope here.
Okay. Watch what happened to this studio. Yeah. So, I mean, this whole publishing arm. So, again, it will be interesting to see how this is. You are absolutely right. I just want to say that people are completely, I know the joke is, oh, now he's excited about Xbox again. No. People are completely understanding this moment and this announcement for sure. Something's brewing. We just got to see in what form it comes. We're gonna learn so much about this, and this is pretty exciting.
I think people misframe me often, but like excitement for this is definitely like multiple projects in development is exciting, but excited about what's happening, no. Like I just got it, like, and that you'd hope it says something to people. It's like, oh, that's his favorite thing ever. And he's really not jazzed about it. It's like, I don't get how people misread it, but it's like I feel like I've done my best to be extremely measured in just how I approach it. Cause I'm like, I know how much I care about Fallout and how much I love it. And like, I'm never going to walk away from that. But like, there's a difference between like Xbox basically having my favorite franchise cuffed up and me talking about it. And also like me being actually actively excited. You know, when the new Fallout remaster comes around, if it looks as good as Oblivion Remastered, I'll be excited. Like 1,000%. But
I have to admit, though, we have to admit the poetic timing of the announcement.
Oh,
it was hilarious. I watched the video. I was like, the Xbox guys we must save him. Yeah. He's on the brink.
Yeah. I know it wasn't
announced the fallout.
They did break the glass in case of an emergency.
Bro, it's like, he could be out any day now if we don't announce this now.
My only rule, because people seem to think I'm done with them for real, and I'm like, I was like, guys, I'm trying to do like a different title format. I'm trying to just like have some fun with it, kind of express my exhaustion in a unique way. And y'all are just trying to make me fucking pay the piper over it. The only way I actually really feel the need to walk away from Xbox truly is if they turn to actually Microsoft Gaming. Like they do a full rebrand. That would signify to me the death of the thing I love. I still love Xbox, whether people agree with that or not. But that would signify the death of the brand to me. I know there's like technically, Matty. I'm like, no.
Well, they're going to hit you with the technically it is Microsoft Gaming right now.
I know that's Phil's title, but I don't see that shit on my box.
I feel it.
I don't see that on my box art.
I feel that. You go down with the ship.
Microsoft Gaming Pass. Like, I don't see that shit. I feel like there's a reason they keep Microsoft's name off of Xbox.
Oh, for sure.
It's a gamer repellent, dude.
For sure.
So, yeah. Anyway, I just want to be clear about that because I normally I feel like very understanding. Like, okay, I see where I fucked up there. I'm like, guys, if I'm jumping ship, you'll know. I'll make it very clear. All right, let's talk a bit about the Xbox Ally.
Yes, sir.
Handheld coming out at the end of the year. Asus leaked the prices by accident.
Oh,
it was on a website on the Asus store, and the euros translated to dollars would put the ROG Xbox Ally at roughly $700, and the X variant, as in the stronger one that they showed off on stage, at $1,050. Cog, this is me. It's about bowing to you, brother. You were mighty correct about the pricing here. Granted, my pricing was submitted pre-tariff, but good God. So I was thinking we'd get like 800 max. But as time went on, as people saw, I definitely stopped standing on my square and gave COG all the space and went, yeah, it's probably looking to be like a $900+ system. So, sir, this is all you. This is all you. $1,000 handheld. How are we feeling about that? With everything, you've gone hands-on with it, so I know you can't determine $1,000 purchase based on that alone, but we have to address that. Like, we have an enthusiast device at a high price point with a brand that's on fire, and people don't know really where that brand's going in the terms of like direction. So it's like, how does this? I don't think this does well in the market at all. I think this thing's doomed to fail. If I'm honest,
it's a niche device. This is completely an enthusiast device to I would say test the market, but again, it's to get if you could extract more money from people who want to extend their ecosystem, right? That's what this is. But I told people, I said, hey, here's the pound of flesh y'all gonna pay. Y'all want them to stay at hardware? This is the new day. I told people subsidizing is over. They was like, all right, we rip hardware away from them, they gonna riot, right? We really don't want to do it.
I have an idea. Make them pay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we really don't want to do it no more. We're really in the software business. We really are the biggest publisher in gaming, right? But if we rip this away, not only would it be a public disaster, relations disaster, but we also are screwing 35 million people's, theoretically, that are still part of this ecosystem. So what we do? Okay, we are not going to do our handheld right now because SteamOS is outside and they're running circles around us, right? So we cannot, Windows 11 is not equipped to go head to head with that if we make our own device right now. That was the last hope of subsidization, right? So now it's like, okay, Asus, you got that. You already in that 700 pocket. Now, I told people, bro, it ain't gonna be. I was getting 9 to a G ready. I already knew what it was because, again, this new Xbox showed me. Oh, Series X and Series S. Oh, yesterday's price is not today's price. You thought we was word tariffs? But the tariffs is over. Xbox, no, but we're keeping our prices the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Xbox, so they literally. I mean, for Nintendo opening the door, Xbox really, between that and the tariffs, did take their window and just jump into it. And I do think they'll regret it in a lot of ways, but I think they moved too early is what I would say. I do, I think they jumped a little too early because it looks bad right now.
The fangs were out. The Demon Slayer fangs were out. There's like, Nintendo did what? 80? Throw that out of worlds over there. What's up? Let's see what they doing now. All right, cool. Oh, 450? They do Nintendo do a damn 500 for a console. Raise that Series X and that Series S up,
please, and thank you.
Exactly. Hey, the tariffs. You didn't hear, guys? Hey. Meanwhile, everything got calmed down for a minute of stabilization, whatever. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we didn't get that mess. Sorry, can't hear you. We're breaking up. I have to let you go off this phone. We can't hear you guys. That's what that was. Bro, leading stakeholders were not trying to hear none of that. The minute that door cracked open, we evil villain, let's go, baby. We can turn the mustache now. Nintendo did it. Hey, it's the market climate. So we are doing this. But now this is what I expected. Look, at the end of the day, as much as I do not like the price, of course it's horrible. I hate the fact that Series X and S is so damn expensive, especially when you're trying to be in your everywhere. Everybody still use the platform or want new people to get the platform, especially when Grand Theft is coming and stuff. I would thought that, kind of come back down, at least on the Series S. Little bit, come on.
Sure.
So, this is what it's going to be. This is definitely, bro. Steam Deck, only did 6 million or whatever it was over the year. I don't even know what it didn't do. It was
in the single digit millions. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't do that dominant. That's considered the best of the high end devices.
Well marketed, well known.
Yeah. Oh, such a clean interface. Yeah. Shout out to our boy Jimmy Champagne. Was it Deck Ready?
Yes,
something to him. You know what I'm saying?
This channel's killing it. It's good.
Oh yeah, he's killing it. So yeah, it says, this is what this is. So to me, just an enthusiast device, a niche thing, more people. But I will say this. People who have these type of devices, they're looking at it for how much more money. It's not about the users in this case, because there's not going to be a lot of people buying this, but it's how much more money that is spent on these devices. People who have these devices, they're in these, they're buying, and if you have the multiple storefront, they're looking at the money spent. So that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, I'll be the sucker there day one because I just can't get enough of this tech, and I love the Ally so much. But yeah, it's unfortunate because I would have loved it to be a little bit more of a mass market device, especially with Xbox branding on it. but it's clear as day they're not with the Z2 Extreme and these techs, and they're not taking any losses on hardware anymore.
Yeah, it is a who is this for moment.
Yeah.
In some ways, with the price and then the current state of the brand, it's just like a weird time for something like this to exist. And, you know, the kind of backtracking of exec speak where it's like, you committed to this yesterday. Will you do this tomorrow, though? You know, so are you actually going to stick with hardware and all that? So it's like a weird time where I just feel like the asking from the consumer in both trust and price is just way too high for this thing to sell like above 50,000 units. Like, I don't think it's going to do well at all.
Yeah, I don't know who's the per se, besides me as a techie, like who's the real target audience. I mean, I know that the fact that it's not Asus by itself, they have their brand on it will help a little bit than a standard basic Asus device, but this ain't selling millions of systems.
It's just I get we're in a more expensive economy nowadays, but just the idea that like your cheap version is $700, which I think was like close to the price of like the better version of the original. It just does not bode well, you know. It needs to be a significant upgrade, not like because like when the Steam Deck OLED came around, that was like you missed the first wave, come join the more improved one, good price still. Like Valve just gets it, you know. As unsurprisingly, they just get it. But not to deify them, you know, they've made stupid choices in the past, but they really get it with the Steam Deck. And I think that's why, despite it, you know, I can see why Xbox is going for it in that this is probably research for them on whatever, if they do a next gen console, what they're going to do handheld wise, because what I've illustrated before is like, we use that figure for the amount of Steam Deck sales, right? Like single digit millions, low single digit millions. Like I think 5 or 6 is the correct number. Nintendo got that with the Switch 2 in like a month. And that's an important figure, not because, well, yeah, Nintendo's amazing. They're going to, you know, they're just going to sell no matter what they say to you. But it's more that there is a gap that can be closed there. Like there hasn't been a PSP DS situation in a while where you have a handheld that's kind of like there fighting the fight. So I think the reason we're seeing so many handheld PCs, including from Xbox, and I hope eventually from PlayStation, and I'm sure they'll be the ones who have the best chance of closing the gap, is because if someone comes out with a successful handheld that sits between Nintendo and the current competition, you're way ahead now. So if Xbox can learn something from this and then make a more price-friendly Switch moment where it's like, you know, this is a companion that you're going to have with your console or whatever, I don't know. But I feel like there's a gap to close here that all of these companies are chasing. It's like, if we break through to even like a quarter of what Nintendo does in the handheld space and make that appealing with gaming going everywhere, maybe that's why they keep pursuing it, even in the face of what no doubt looks like poor sales written all over it. That's just my thoughts on it. We'll see.
I agree.
This next story, not a great one. This is happening sooner than I kind of thought too. This comes from mobilegamer.biz. I'm going to read their full report here. Bloomberg broke the news that King would be cutting off around 200 staff earlier this week. That number was confirmed by our sources, who told us that the cuts were mostly in middle management and UX and narrative copywriting. We've been told more detail. Many level design and user research staff, plus practically half of London-based Farm Hero Saga team, are to be made redundant. The cuts will affect about 50 people on Farm Hero Saga, we're told, with some of the game's leadership put on gardening leave ahead of their departure in September. This was the internal memo that was sent around. Why is this happening? The industry is changing fast and our business has not been growing. When that happens, we must not only look outside of competitors and the market, but also inside. As we talked about before, we are making several changes to get the business back to growth. Unlocking many more AI tools is one recent example. Investing more in marketing this year is another. We're fortunate to have many talented individuals at King, but we also have a collective problem. The size and structure of the company often makes things difficult to get done. So we plan to simplify the organization, fewer layers, fewer overlapping remits, fewer hours spent on alignment, fewer people in meetings, fewer stakeholders for every project. Many leaders across King have been asked to redesign their organizations to be smaller overall. There will be some new roles created in these redesigns and some rebalancing of headcount across King, but overall King will be a smaller company. Many level designers, user research staff, plus UX and narrative writers have been told they're at risk. In particular, these staff have spent a few years building and training AI tools to do their jobs. They're now effectively being replaced, sources say. Quote, most of the level design has been wiped, which is crazy since they've spent months building tools to craft levels quicker, end quote, said one staffer. Quote, now those AI tools are basically replacing the teams. Similarly, the copywriting team is completely removing people since we now have AI tools that those individuals have been creating, end quote. Continuing on, they say the fact AI tools are replacing people is absolutely disgusting, but it's also about the efficiency and profits, even though the company is doing great overall. If we're introducing more leadership loops or more feedback loops, then it's crazy to remove the developers themselves. We need more hands and less leadership. The same source suggested that the total number of staff cuts may be more than 200 outside of the cuts at London, Barcelona, Stockholm, and Berlin studios. Many centralized staff are also being removed, we're told, including research and QA. If a resource is centralized, it is being cut or moved to the production into the production team, said one source. This is a Slack message sent to all Candy Crush staff on the day layoffs were announced. Hi, Candy. We're coming to the end of a very long day. If you haven't seen already, there is an email from Todd in your inbox. I quote it to provide some clarity and reassurance. Anyone whose role is potentially impacted has now been reached out to. That means for anyone who hasn't been individually contacted today, your role is not proposed to be removed. We will talk more in the town hall tomorrow. I won't have much new information to share, but I will come back to the main points from today, and you will have the opportunity to ask questions as well. Take care. See you tomorrow. So there's that. Continue on. Read is almost done here. As discussions continue between King leadership and the unions and staff across those offices, many employees are effectively in limbo for the summer, unsure whether their job will be cut or not. Some programmers have been removed for arbitrary reasons. Our source continues, suggesting that some of the people being removed have expressed dissatisfaction with the company or processes, or are vocal in social groups within the company. Another source told us about King's long-running HR problems. This is Xbox inheriting Activision issues, might I add. No. In particular, the Candy Crush teams were described as being in a state of constant but low attrition and perpetual restructuring. King HR is an absolute shit show and has been for years, said another source, an extreme example of an HR department whose role is to protect the company, not the staff. A recent internal employee survey conducted before the job cuts suggested that morale was already low at the company. One person familiar with the survey's results and King's response said the SLT, the senior leadership team, said improving morale was a top priority. As you can imagine, it's now in the gutter, end quote. On the day of the layoffs, one staffer who sat in the meetings said King leadership wanted to remove layers, stakeholders, and processes, slowing down, particularly middle management. They also mentioned the fact that we are too specialized now and siloed between crafts, which has got us to our amazing profits, but is now hampering us, so we need to merge and generalize. It seemed that the main info communicated to us by leadership was literally being read like a script in the calls, which is like a slap in the face. Another person added, despite the conditions forced upon the team by inept leadership, the teams are very close-knit and genuinely do care about each other and are passionate about improving their games. Some senior staff have been putting on gardening leave for the summer ahead of their expected departure in September. The company's management team has told staff that a new org chat will be presented in September. And then they asked Microsoft and King for comment, but nothing as of yet. So I know King is not a team we really talk about at all on this show. I'm not going to pretend to be a mobile gamer. I'm not going to pretend to give a fuck about mobile games or Candy Crush. But pay attention to this, man. This is I know the way mobile games are made might be a little bit different from the way console games are being made, but this is not a one-off. And this is something I talked about a lot on the show, but I'll admit, hand up, like I did not expect it this soon. I thought we were years away. Thought we were years away from, hey, you built the tools, thanks, bye, we're going to use these now. Making teams leaner in game development makes sense to me. It's something I've advocated for. Replacing them with the tools they have built is sadistic and fucked up. So those are my thoughts off the top. Cog, how are you feeling about this right up here from mobilegamer.biz?
Brutal. And yes, this is what I was definitely wrong about. And it's really shocking, the accelerated pace at which the AI investment and the almost is beyond just tooling. It's like, okay, Microsoft as a whole, there's an article that just came out, I just sent it to you, that they already saved $500 million already by doing a lot of these AI moves across the board at Microsoft already.
Wow.
So let me just send it to you. Like, it is crazy. So that's what makes it like there's not going to be no stopping to this. You know what I'm saying? Anytime soon, because at the end of the day, look at this stuff. Let me send it to you right now so we can have the same context.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, bro, it's insane that amount of money was made already, just by doing this. And again, this is an initiative that is moving, bro.
I'm laughing because have you ever noticed with like these articles, like the pictures they use for
the pictures are wild,
like Satya Nadella steepling and laughing, smiling, like it's just like this fucking piece of shit. Like
it's nasty work.
He's enjoying his life while everyone else is fucking suffering. Sorry, go ahead.
It's definitely not a good look on the picture for sure. Yeah, man, this is real. This is real, and the scary part of trading your replacement. Right. And it starts with sales. It starts with customer service. It starts with QA. It starts with things that are kind of remedial that can be kind of replaced. And this is the kind of debate me and King had. I have to give him his flowers too. He was very adamant about this. Like, this is coming. This is coming. This is coming. And I've always been a guy that's pro tech, pro advancement, pro tool. But I have to admit, like, this is something I didn't see with this accelerated force. And it does come off. It's got to be real. It's evil corporation energy. It comes off. It just no sugarcoating it. Like, and I get it. You don't want to be last in AI. You can't lose the AI. If everything goes AI and you're Microsoft and you're not there, I understand the corporate aspect of it. But there is a tone deaf aspect to it also. And there is a human aspect. There's a human element here, right? And I've always going to be the person that is pro-developer and pro-human, right? And now it's one thing to say, AI in games, right? And it's just like, bro, I don't want that near the games and the soulless. And that I'll still defend my position that the consumer will say, bro, that ain't it. Mm-hmm. But the consumer has no control over who's being hired and people getting let go. And think about now when you could barely get a human when you call any major department of anything, right? You're on automated voice. Like, I have to do tricks, press 0, do all these different things and to try to get a human to interact with you, right? So that's, one aspect of it that's pretty scary. But just in general, like, this is awful. And I don't see no stop. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't see like, okay, save the money. Right? We got it now. It's under control, guys.
How much more can we save?
How much more can we save? This is now the corporate greed aspect. This is now the overinvestment. And here's the thing that is interesting too, because again, me and you don't care necessarily. We care about the industry, but we don't necessarily care about mobile, right? We were told prior to this, like, King is a key component to this acquisition, right? We really did this for mobile. Now, granted, yes, we do know under the ABK regime, HR, and the reason why they were made available was how they were run and all the crazy bad stuff that was going on over there. I'm not going to minimize that. They definitely need to be cleaned up. But we didn't think to this extent from all these other departments, and with just a complete, gutting of human talent to just say, okay, AI is doing this. So here we are. Are they going to be the first? No, but it doesn't excuse, again, the human element, the fact that how tone deaf it feels coming off of all these layoffs and all these people that are now out of work that most likely are not coming back to the gaming industry and tech. So tough one to read. Very tough one to read. Yeah. Very, very brutal.
Yeah, I'm very saddened by reading it. It feels very dystopian.
Yes.
It feels very wrong. And just again, I mean, I know it's Candy Crush, so I'm not going to sit here and act like, man, we're losing. I guess I don't know. Like, I'm trying to be self-aware and that I know I don't give a fuck about these games, but it's still like people having their jobs replaced by things they have built.
Facts.
And that is like, I just think of long-term ramifications. That's just what I've been saying all along. It's just like long-term ramifications. We're not thinking later. We're thinking now. And I just don't co-sign that line of thinking. So yeah, just sad to see, and I'll react more strongly if it starts to, when it starts to breach Xbox properly.
Right.
All right. Last bit of gaming news here. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass, another great month It's a shame I don't have my subscription anymore. In all seriousness, July 17th, by the time you're listening to this show, you got 2 games waiting for you. My Friendly Neighborhood. It's going to be on the ultimate tier for you, PC as well. You got RoboCop Rogue City, as Cog talked about earlier. This is the ultimate tier, so you'll find this on your Series X and S PC cloud. July 18th, Back to the Dawn comes out on the ultimate tier and the PC tier, console PC cloud. Abiotic Factor, it's entering 1.0 this month, and that's coming out July 22nd. It's on Game Pass, so you'll find that as well. And all of these are ultimate tier games, I should just say. But you're going to find that on your console, Series X and S specifically, PC and cloud. Wheel World comes to Series X, S, PC and cloud July 23rd. Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, Series X and S PC cloud. Grounded 2 early access begins July 29th. It's available on Game Pass, Series X and S PC cloud. Farming Simulator 25, console PC cloud August 1st. Get your farm on. Leaving Game Pass, 3 games for you here. One of them is a heartbreaker, Cog. July 31st, you got to say goodbye to Gigantic, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, and Turnip Boy robs a bank. All right, Cog. What are we looking at getting people to play before the 31st?
Better get on that Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. If you ain't play it now, boy, you gotta play it, man. And I was also disappointed that when it came to Switch, there wasn't a physical version. I think that hurt them, man. If they could have had a card right there, right around the launch, that could have done wonders. And yeah, man, that game is, you know how I feel. Me and Colin love that game. That is a masterpiece little game. And but other than that, obviously losing out. Look, it's good month. Obviously, RoboCop's is big. The new DLC's coming, you know, and if that is a love letter to that to the franchise. It's a fun game. More depth than you think it is. Please go check that out. It's coming in. Oh, and I checked it out on the store. It is now Play Anywhere. So I was like, yes. So I can continue it on my Ally and on my devices and PC. And then look, Wu-Chang, bro. We shout out to the Lords. We was able to cover that at Summer Games Fest. That game blew me away. It really looked phenomenal. And they were like, they had big chest. We feel we're coming for Bloodborne energy. I was like, whoa. That was one of the number one comments he said when I interviewed the developers for this game. And they were like, yeah, man, we and people were like, oh, that's really lofty for you to say, but the feedback seems to be taken well, and people are really excited about that game. It's one of our better performing videos. And the game looks phenomenal. It's a beautiful looking, and I will say though, it won't be a card game because they ain't got no easy nothing. This is like, bro, you better work it out. This is they are catering to the heart. And respect to them. They cater to the hardcore. And of course, the Black Rock Grounded coming outside, buggies, all the new stuff, man. So yeah, get on that. That should be there on the 29th. So overall, like I said, strong. I thought solid month. Really, some really good titles in there. Oh, My Friendly Neighborhood, I actually played that. Played that it reminded me of Sesame Street gone bad in an action horror game or something. Bro, it's like evil Sesame Street, but funny and hilarious. These Muppets going crazy. I actually enjoyed my time covering that game. So I remember, shout out to the dead. That was a fun interview. My Family Neighborhood. Go check that out. My Friendly Neighborhood, excuse me.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones this month. One is Abiotic Factor. I really want to peep that out when it hits 1.0, so I'm gonna pick it up on Steam. But that is like a narrative-driven survival game, a little grounded energy. But it's since Grounded's early access, like I already said, I'm kind of like I'm gonna dip my toe in the pool to talk about it here on the show. But otherwise, like I'm not sure how deep I'll go. Maybe it gets its hooks at me, but it's apparently like Half-Life inspired. And so I just thought it looked really interesting, really different. And what really got me was like, apparently they take the narrative really serious. And so that's why, as per usual with early access, I'm like, I'll wait for 1.0. Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers looks really good. Very excited to talk about that one. And Gigantic is a game, man, that I used to love on the Xbox One. And I'm a bit of a fraud with this one. I said if it came back, I'd play it, but I never did. It kind of came back at a time where I was done with the multiplayer shit. So unfortunately, saying sayonara to that one. But yeah, just a great lineup again. Just something good to play almost every day. So yeah, Game Pass continues to kill it.
Yeah. absolute monster year for Game Pass.
Yeah. They have not lost pace with that amongst it all. Game Pass pick of the week. It's time, sir. You made the selection? Was this you? This was here from last week?
This was here from last week, I think.
And was that you or was this Gene or Hogue?
It's been Gene or Hogue. Because I said, maybe you picked it. So I left it alone. I was like, I don't want to take it thunder. Man, so we both left this alone thinking it's the other one.
I was thinking of you, but now I realized it. I'm like, wait, we just got here. And you know what's the telltale giveaway? Okay, so here's why I just realized this wasn't you. Because when I type out my scripts, I have like headers, ladies and gentlemen, for everything. Like I have Game Pass pick of the week, and it's in a Arial 16 font, bold and underlined. It's got a colon. Now, normally I leave a gap where you put that in there, but Cog just types after that bold underline, so it just continues the header. And I always see it. I'm like, damn, why do you mess up my format like that? So I always delete it every week and redo it. I leave the gap there. I put mine in the gap. I should have known when I saw this in the gap that this wasn't you.
You know my horrible format. You know I gotta leave that bold underline, no italic, no Arial font, just raw bold font.
Yeah. Look, I know it's you. It's your.
Because I'm always doing it on my phone, and I hate that the tools are limited. Because usually you said that I'm always on the go, so I'm not in front of my computer. If I'm on the computer, then I would edit it properly. But my phone, it's like it's a task to try to get the change the font stuff on phone.
Yeah, it is because they have the. I've used it on my phone before. Yeah, you have the drop down.
So I'm like, all right, at least he gonna know what I'm doing. Kind of.
I tease. It's more important. All right. I mean, what do we do now?
What do we do now?
What's our Game Pass pick of the week here? I guess
this is all against the storm. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what that's about.
I'm taking a quick scroll here through the PC app because I think my subscription is still active until the 18th.
Oh, this is whole dark fantasy city builder where you can rebuild civilization in the face of an apocalyptic raid. As the Queen's Viceroy, you lead humans, beavers, lizards, foxes, and what? And harpies to reclaim the wilderness and secure a future for civilization's last survivors. Now, on Steam, reviews are overwhelmingly positive. It doesn't say positive, it says overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, it's usually like I get a little hype when I see a little overwhelmingly positive. What's this called? Against the Storm?
Against the Storm. Eremite Games. Publisher is The Hooded Horse. Oh my God, this is so old. Yes, the city builder energy.
I don't like the art style that much, but
I'm not a fan of the art style, but I like what they're doing.
Yeah, no, this looks especially after we talked about Tales of the Shire. I feel like this is
speaking of which, what's it called? What's that Tales from the Shire? My boy Petey, he's big on that.
I'm excited to see if it turns out well. I'm like due for a cozy game.
Yes,
it's calling my name. I'm going to throw out there. Oh man, what do we got here on Game Pass? I mean, Tony Hawk seems like a safe one. It's literally new. It's there. I know Tony Hawk 3 and 4 are great games. I know this remake though. Apparently, like that transition. The thing I was worried about with the career mode. Apparently, that transition wasn't super smooth. Where they like tried to kind of include it with the mission mode, but it felt kind of hollow, felt kind of empty. So. Little disappointed to see that. It was kind of like one of my bigger, if you will, fears of the game. I was like, it's still going to be great Tony Hawk, but a little bit disappointing to read that. But that's a pretty safe one to go and check out. Good palate cleanser because that's what I'm also eyeing down. For in my personal place here is playing 100 hours of visual novel stuff. It's like I'm due for a little palate cleanser. Like I want to get the feeling of beating things. So I'm looking at I'm looking at you 10-hour games. I'm looking at you 15-hour games. I got a nice list. I'm looking at some Silent Hill. I'm looking at some 1,000 Times Resist. I know that's one that the audience has really wanted me to finish. So I'm looking to maybe pick that one up. I'm looking at Wander Stop, which is a cozy game, but I'm also looking at the Very Dangerous Fantasy Life.
Oh,
that one. I don't know if you saw that, but that game is
it's not a short game.
It's creepy cog at the park kind of game. I'll be honest with you. I gotta watch myself. I'm 30 now. I gotta be careful. But I mean, dude, it looks fucking awesome. It really does. So Game Pass is just that thing that you can fire up right now, y'all. Find something good to play. So we don't have to guide you too much this week. We hope you understand the miscommunication here. But nonetheless, Cog, it's time for us to wrap this bad boy up. We're at the end of the show here. Nice to be finishing this show.
Yeah.
Early side. Yeah, we didn't say this at the start of the show. We started this at like 12. It's 4:17 now. And whole day ahead of us. I'm going to wrap up a little work here, go out to dinner, go to an Italian restaurant.
Oh, get some Italiano.
Yeah. Right. Oh, dude. I've realized nothing makes me happier than eating out.
Yes. I do.
Don't clip that, y'all. Don't clip that.
I do like it though. I do like it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, that shit just complete relief, complete relaxation, great meal, great time. Friends and
service.
Yes, very excited. So Italian food's like I go back and forth between that and Asian food.
Me too.
Tough to decide what my favorite is. Food's just great.
Love both.
What are you up to after this?
Yeah, so now the pretty much the pack. I gotta get the cut. Gotta be fresh.
Freshen up your boy
for the joint. Might do one little quick workout, more cardio than anything. I'm in a nice little cardio pocket.
Nice,
making some grind there, some gains there, and your boy's feeling good. I let the legs show a little bit. I was like, feeling some progress. I'm seeing strength. I'm like, because that's a weakness of mine. I hate it because I hate what we call it, the martini glass.
I've never heard that before.
Oh,
I've heard pencil leg. That's what I get that pisses me off because I look down and I just see like a straight line. I'm like, damn, they kind of cooked. Like that is that is exactly
what it is.
Yeah,
your boy. I see some definition of the cast. I was gassed. I was like,
yes, sir.
It's out there. You know what I mean? So leg day was yesterday. I want to continue. We'll do my cardio, give the legs a break while working out. But I was going to do some cardio and then get the cut, do some cardio, finish packing. Flights tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
I won't completely disconnect, but I won't be ridiculously checking. I'm going to be use a lot of gaps and really just try to experience the
Get lost in the moment. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So I got permission to bother you while you're away. That's good.
Yes. You can send a message in there. Something urgent is cool. You know what I'm saying? I told Attic, the Lords, King, everybody. If something go down for sure, you can let me know. But I'm going to be trying to be very periodic and just take advantage of a vacation for once.
Yeah, I got you. I will try not to bother you.
If something go down though, let me know. If something go down,
if there's a cog worthy link, I'm gonna try to keep the in betweeners. Like, oh, you might want to see this, or here's a little nugget. Like, I'm gonna try to keep your head out of it if I can.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Cog. Let's do the hashtag about Ohio.
All right.
Yeah, Ohio DD.
No doubt. I like it.
DD Ohio. I got it backwards. DD Ohio.
DD Ohio. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, got this far, and you want to let us know what you thought? Use the comment section down below. Use the hashtag DD Ohio so we know you finish the episode. It's very important that you finish. That's something that we, very often we hear all the time that y'all are just leaving comments and not finishing.
Not finishing, man. You got to get it done.
You got to finish. And then if you really finished, you can come over to social media. I'm at G27 Status, Cogs at Lord Cognito. He's not biting his lip like he is right now, trying not to blow something wild. Use the hashtag DD Ohio. Tag us over there. Let us know your thoughts. Cog, any final thoughts before I get us on out of here?
Hilarious show. Get to tell games, and for the most part, again, as a more crisis and craziness sprinkled in, but we had some fun, man. That's what's up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you, and we will catch you next week for episode 238 of Defining Duke and Xbox Podcast. Peace out.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.